Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
First of all, you got to give Northwestern and Coach Braun a ton of credit. We shouldn't lose that game. It's 100% on me, and we got to get it fixed.
He flips and throws it into tight coverage. It's picked off. Ori Adeyi in the end zone for Northwestern.
For Mendoza. Here comes the pressure. Throws to the corner. Touchdown, Surratt. Dante Moore hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. And that is going to be the ball game. Isaiah Jones, the linebacker Gary's been talking about all day long, and he just jumped in front of that pass.
Can spell it again. No, Sam will throw it. Touchdown, Jeremiah Smith. How simple can it get?
Running back to the left of Raiola is Quentin Ives. Snap to Raiola, 3 in the pattern. Tunnel screen over the middle. It's Hunter to the 45 as a block. Across midfield, it's Hunter to the 40. 4 left sideline, 20, 15, 10. And is he in? He is! Touchdown Huskers! Raiola out of the gun. Snap. Turn, play fake, zips one left, leaping, one-handed catch, tumbling in the end zone, Dane Key, touchdown, Huskers! Oh, that was a cold-blooded drive.
Love the resolve of our guys. They continue to battle. Special teams continues. I mean, you got, when I tell you how much I love this team, you got Kenneth Williams, doesn't even have a scholarship. He's out there running that kickoff return back. So he does now, by the way. That was wrong. That wrong was righted after the game. But no, just proud of our guys, and I want to give credit to them too.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, good, man. I'm good. Friday, Saturday, not too bad.
We're out here, right?
Man, I got killed by my own coach passive aggressively. Did somebody send him a clip of the show?
Oh, I didn't.
No.
Who, Lamaji?
No, coach. Oh, he. I think he enjoys me.
Oh, okay.
My staff thinks I'm certifiable. Hey, man, it's what you got to do, man. When you love your team, you want to be a part of your guys, you're willing to do anything. But anyway, it's neither here nor there.
I just thought you and I were having a nice chat on Friday. Didn't know what else was going on.
Anyway, his reference about he liked his bus driver.
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, he's 100% trolling you.
And then he said something else about me too in the press, and somebody was like, "Did you hear what he's?" And I was like, "No, I got to start paying better attention."
I told you he listens to the show.
No, well, so this was about
the bus driver thing is 100% like that is from the show.
Yeah, I didn't kill the guy, did I?
You were like, it was there. You said like 3 people were nauseous. That's not like a ringing endorsement of a bus driver.
The greatest line ever is we're on our way to the airport post game.
Yeah. And
Keith goes, he looked dead at me. He goes, I think he's doubling down. It was a cross between angry and sick.
You're like, how are you doing this to me?
Yeah, so it's so bad. I felt like, you know what it was giving me vibes of, especially Saturday when I couldn't snap out of it.
Yeah.
It's giving me like Munchausen's like vibes.
Really?
I'm like, who's keeping me sick?
Oh, you thought like somebody was like,
yeah, like I just haven't felt like my app. It has been, I don't know, man. I can't shake it.
That's odd.
Yeah, I know. And then yesterday was, I don't know.
You kept below profile yesterday.
I tried.
Yeah.
But it's like
I usually
number one, don't ask questions that you don't really want to know the answer to.
Okay.
No, I'm dead serious. Like,
yeah.
If you don't want to know, like, don't ask.
Yeah.
That's like rule number 4 in the Benning household. Number 2, if you already think you know the answer and you want to ask anyway, then you're gonna have to deal with. You can process the information how you will. Outside of that, I'm not rocking with you. I'm not. Like, no. At some point, I just decided I'm not having it. I'm not. I'll find something else different to do. I don't know what, but man, I I mean, people, you just cannot rationalize with irrational people.
No, you certainly cannot.
I had to tell one of my guys, I was like, hey, man, just let it go. I get it. You're trying to fight the good fight. Just let it go.
That's why I've started asking people once I get like a couple comments into
Lance said probably food poisoning.
I wasn't going to say it. I was actually going to leave that one go.
I wonder if no, it's not. Because I didn't really
eat some bad crab cakes.
Mm-mm. Do you know after all that hand wringing and consternation, nobody ordered them?
What?
Cassie got the lobster mac and cheese. Jess got the crab pizza. KC got the best meal.
What did he get?
Crab and shrimp stuffed salmon. The minute his plate came to the table,
you were mad.
I was like, that's the one.
Yeah.
I mean, Beat Max was legit because his scallops actually look seared.
Ooh, I love a seared scallop.
But I'm just telling you, boy. So again, I've done this a while.
Mm-hmm.
When Benny Max when his plate costs the same as my surf and turf,
yeah,
they're getting over on me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That was not filet; it was officially sirloin, like sirmoilin. Which, by the way, I'm going to see him today or tomorrow.
There you go. Call our friends over Next Gen Mail Medical.
And the shrimp and the scallops had no color. I rolled it over. I was like, please, sweet baby Jesus, have at least one mark. And it had like a beige. It was putty colored. Ben's was like charred. But my calamari was fire. So that was.
I do love good calamari.
So I was actually hungry Friday night late.
Okay.
But.
So maybe it was the uncharred shrimp and scallops.
No. Nothing made me like, no, I didn't really eat.
Okay.
Right. So, of course, I binged the series in 2.5 days or however long we were at Maryland.
Which one was that?
Department Q.
Oh, I heard that was good.
Ran right through it.
You like it?
Yeah.
I like the Matthew Good, one of the main actors.
Yeah, he's legit.
I like that guy.
He was certifiable in that show.
He's really good actor.
Well, let's just say he was traumatized. I don't want to spoiler alert. It's been out for a while though. So I binged all of Department Q, and then I watched the final 4 episodes of Wednesday. I did not sleep nary a wink.
Yeah.
And the players were out early Saturday morning in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So they were kind of doing their I was like, is this the walkthrough to the walkthrough to the walkthrough?
Hey, you gotta stay ready.
And so I'm nosy.
Mm-hmm.
But the trees were kind of blocking my view. Here, I'll show you. This is what your boy does.
Did you take a picture?
Yeah. This is totally what I do. Now, in my defense, Zoe likes to play Where's Waldo.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I send her pictures, she likes to look and see who she can see.
Oh, like which guys she can identify?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, knock yourself out. You'll be looking like through the trees. So this was the view from my room.
Okay.
And I got another one. It's a little better. And so all of a sudden I kind of look to my left and it's this guy like kind of sprinting.
Yeah.
I see him flip his hat around backwards.
Oh, that's how you know it's in sport mode.
Who do you think it was?
Sprinting, flips his hat around backwards. Caleb. Oh, there we go.
It's Coach Butler. I'm like, these dudes are nuts. So I don't know what they were doing. The trees were blocking me, but this was in the parking lot.
Yeah.
It was like 9:00.
Well, listen, you gotta stay ready.
No, it's like 8:20. That was episode 7. Yeah, it's like 8:20. I was doing the math in my head. And I'm like, these guys. I mean, there was so much ominous foreshadowing. I do that hit with Jess. Well, probably the next time we talk to her, she's going to be like, he's such a baby. He can't go anywhere by himself. I had to walk up. I thought I was going to get lost up and down the thing. So I was like, hey, will you just wait for me after we do the pregame? Because I'm not sure. Sometimes people are really, really difficult about getting on the field.
Mm.
I don't want you on the grass, this, that, and the other. And nobody ever tells her no. So I was like, you know me, I'm just.
Yeah, you're trying to.
I'm just a regular.
Coattail.
I look like a lot of other people there. Let's just say it like that. And so, but there were a couple of brothers down on the gate. They were like, oh, man, because they're the staff, the CQ crew was sensational.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't get our credentials until Saturday morning. So we're setting up, we're doing everything without even really, we just had to like talk our way in.
Yeah.
Which was cool. It was cool. Although Casey got chastised. She said, "What's that boy's name?" I said, "He's a grown-up. His name is Kyle." She said, "Kyle, come back here." I said, "Hey, it's early. He's just doing recon." So Emmett does. There's about 7 or 8 players that do the same thing almost every pregame. You know, Williams is going to be sitting on, like, guys just have their thing, right? And Jess saw Casey come in before I did because my back was to him because she's doing the interviewing. And, you know, he elbowed me and he was like, you know, he goes, however he refers to me, Coach Champ Deep. I don't know what he said, but anyway, I looked and said, "Man, happy, you know, belated birthday." And he pulled his headset down and he said, "I'm going to do something special today." Listen, guys, my witness. It gave me chills because all I could think of was the LP. Today's a good day to make my money.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, and it was just his delivery, right? He's like, "I'm gonna do something special today." I just patted him on the back. I said, "Do your thing." Little did I know.
I will say, I know there's been some, and TK is one of them. I know there's been some
RTK.
Yeah, some Emmett Johnson stands in the fan base. Mans has never ran like that before in his life.
So wait a minute. There's been some EJ what?
Stands, like they like stand for him.
Oh yeah, got you.
Yeah. Like there's been some of those. Like I know TK is gonna be like, "I've been saying he should have been starting for 2 years." I get you, TK. I'm giving you your credit. He has never run like that in his God-given life. That was new. Whatever that was.
No, I like EJ's good. Man.
He is good, but he's never run like that before.
Yeah, EJ's really good.
The like moves on moves on moves he was putting on people. He has never run like that before.
So you know his best attribute is the one you can see it, but you don't really take it for granted. He is extremely tough. Like it's hard for running backs to take some of the. He lands and he's contorted and you know he gets undercut a ton.
Yeah.
His ability to repeat something over and over is at a high level.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. Like his 17th carry looked a lot like the second. That's a skill.
Yeah.
That is a very underappreciated. His best run was one of his last runs.
Oh yeah, I mean the 50-yarder.
Yeah.
Well, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, I broke that play down on Channel 7. That was about as good as you're going to see pin and pull executed. I mean, just down, pull, kick. It's like he's running down the hallway. Then 13 took an atrocious angle.
Yeah.
I don't know what the world.
And he was like,
doing.
"See ya, you can go."
And he beat him to the sidelines, which, I mean, coach has got to be pulling his hair out. But,
yeah.
I mean, then the rest was all.
That was all EJ after that. Because that's after what, like 12 yards, 10, 12 yards, somewhere in there?
Yeah, probably 20.
Okay, so a little deeper than I thought. But after the next 30 are him just doing stuff.
Yeah, he's just relentless.
It seemed like, I don't know. It seemed like he saw defenders coming better. Because I assume he didn't learn how to juke in the last week.
Yeah, like
it seems like he saw it better.
Knowing where
they're coming from.
Knowing where you're coming from is huge.
Yeah.
It's like the secret little recipe.
Yeah.
So it was chaotic after the game. And we're doing fifth quarter. And I like kind of the new style because Casey and I do it with Ben, and Ben's kind of steering the ship, and it's got a nice slow flow to it. And so we look down, and all the players are coming back out. And we're on air, so we don't say anything.
Oh yeah,
we're like, dang, what's going on? So we got to pack up and load the equipment, and we tell jokes because it's a bear.
Sure.
Because we're carrying our own equipment.
Yeah.
So we like divvied it up. I was like, I'm the most worthless, so I carry everybody's luggage. They actually get the important stuff. No, that's how I like it. Like, just give me the Samsonites. I can't break that. At least I don't think. So, I'm strapped. We're walking down, and it is just a circus. So I'm kind of closet. I'm not terrified, but I'm very uncomfortable because the way that it's set up is you got your bag, you got your food. I didn't even grab any. No, I wouldn't have anyway because it was like fettuccine and chicken parm and
A lot of carbs in there for DB.
it was just, but I can't believe how good of food it is post game.
Yeah.
And I dapped up Kristen and
it's not like cold sandwiches. Like
no, she's like, you're not eating. And I was like, man, can I just get a sandwich? And she's like, oh, we'll have Chick-fil-A when you get to the plane. So I was like, first world spoiled brat problems, right?
I don't really want Chick-fil-A either.
No, I didn't. I didn't. So I ended up eating some gummy bears. And Kyle called me a child. I'm like, you're 12. How can I be a child? But anyway, so I'm kind of in a little mood because you had to walk like through this alley of fans, and they were electric.
Yeah.
I mean, high-fiving, dapping, take pictures. Can you sign this? And it was cool because they always know where the buses are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like terrified. And you can hear your name being called. And I'm like, well, I didn't even play. It's not even about me. Just get to where you're going, sit down. But I didn't have any food. So the bus ride is not, it's, in case anybody's listening, the bus ride was just okay. So I was in a foul mood. But it was mostly because I was sick. So we get out, we get screened, security check. We go up the stairs, and I looked at BMAC. I go, man, this fresh air is fantastic. Like, I'm just going to take this in for a second. So I'm walking really slow up the deal. And then keep in mind, like, I'm miserable.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I always talk to the coaches or not, but they're like in the first couple of seats right when you get in. So I wasn't going to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Rhule was like, DB, come here, man. What's wrong? I was like, huh? He said, come here. Like, he brought me in close. He goes, now keep in mind my mood.
Yeah.
He goes, man, I'm just telling you, the younger Benning looks a lot better on kickoff return than you heard. I was so mad. I looked dead at him, and I'm like, I don't even know why I rock with you. Put him back there where he was pre-concussion and see what he could do. He looked at me like I was short. I went ahead and set my little happy black behind down. I said, that probably ain't going to go over well. I don't know, man. I got issues. It was a crazy.
Is that why he had to change to a linebacker number for a couple minutes?
Yeah, because Ives is on the second wall, so they can't have 228s.
Gotcha.
So, man, you're not even. I was like, because KC thought whoever it was, he's like, man, he was going to crease that thing. I was like, 47.
Who's 40? Like, Stanger's hurt.
I'm like, how's this dude not even going to tell me? What a dummy. So anyway, like the game, it was Nebraska fans.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm telling you, I don't know what it sounded like on TV.
It got loud at parts.
They were incredible.
How? Okay, so
they had the whole one side.
I was listening pregame, and I know you guys were kind of throwing out numbers.
I don't even know what it actually was.
Okay, because you said, I think, 20, and KC tried to talk you down to like 10.
Okay, so hey, pump some courage into your boy.
Yeah.
Because I have let KC kind of low-key bully me 2-3 times. He talked me off the number.
Mm-hmm.
He made fun of me. Well, he did get my Wi-Fi up and going, so I give him some. Like, he's kind of low-key killing me, and I feel like I need to usurp power.
So you know what it is.
What is it?
And it's probably a good thing about you, but especially when you're working with someone new, you try and like get their confidence up.
Yeah.
And so I think you let him
he's taking it and ran.
Yeah, I think you let him like get some wins.
He's like, and I should know, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I said, I'm going to go with 20K. He goes, 20? 20. I said, what do you think? He goes, I'll say 10. I was like, oh, okay, I'll say 12. Like, I caved.
You didn't even split the difference. You went to his half.
No, he's hilarious.
You should have doubled down and be like, well, it sounds like 30.
So it had to be, I don't know. What was, it's more than 15.
It was definitely closer to 20 than it was 10.
Because before the game, we're doing the show, and B-Mac's getting my binoculars ready. He hands them back to me. There's probably only, I don't know, 15, 20 people in there, and they're all workers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, God, where is everybody? But there were all these seat backs, like way up high, already in place with no fans. I'm like, at what point do you say to yourself, oh, those are good season tickets. I want those. They were all Nebraska fans. We kept looking. I'm like, guys, I get it. I can't see.
Yeah.
Does that say Maryland across the chest or Nebraska?
Yeah. Well, because he's the same like block.
And of course, I get the
sometimes,
binocular jokes
yeah.
and whatever. I'm like, they're not fit for my eyes. Ben did this, but they were all Nebraska people.
Yeah.
And so for as sleepy as that game was ahead of time while we were there, because we didn't see any Maryland people.
Mhm.
I didn't see anybody from Maryland's team until like 90 minutes on the clock.
Really?
It was crazy.
They just like roll in late or what?
I don't know. Maybe they got their own routine.
Or they're doing their own thing.
I don't knock the hustle. I mean, do what you do. But for that setup and then how the game turned out, I thought it was incredibly exciting.
Big Al says sat in the section DB is talking about. It was 95% Husker.
Had to
fans.
be.
It was wild.
Had to be.
Yeah. And this is one where I thought listen, I knew there was going to be there's always going to be a certain contingent of Husker fans. This one felt to me like, maybe it wouldn't be a huge one, right? Like not a super sexy destination, not a super sexy opponent. Like you're just like, maybe we're saving our money for Happy Valley, whatever.
And
they
needed them too.
Yeah.
Like they needed them.
Yeah. They helped him rally. I mean, Coach Rhule was talking about that after the game.
No, you could feel it. That's no hyperbole.
Yeah.
Like the fans absolutely mattered.
I don't know how much that translated to TV, like the momentum shift that the fans helped with.
Man, I remember. So like after Dylan's second pick, he got knocked on his bunda.
Yeah.
He went in the tent. He went in the tent. And we calmed down because that's the secret sauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like kind of
telling you what's going on
in our ears.
Yeah.
So
you know that it's not.
So we're
kind of
we're kind of waiting to see. And she beat a couple.
Because he came out of that thing pretty quick, right?
So at one point, I can say this because she's right. I'll make fun of myself. Shavers came off the field, and she's like, I don't know. And I was like, yeah, it ain't good. I said, he's been battling a bad hammy. He acts like it's his gluteus minimus. And she's like, guys, he's going to the tent. And I was like, yeah, he's done. And she goes, about 3 minutes later, she goes, hey, he's up, moving around. He grabbed his helmet. And I'm like, Jess, he's not coming back. 2 seconds later, hey, Shavers is going back in, DB. I was like, wow, this just is not my trip.
There were a couple dudes, though,
like not my trip.
Like the Dylan thing looked a little bit more serious than it apparently ended up being. The Shavers thing, McCullough at one point looked like he was pretty banged up.
So I saw his real time.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of processing through it on the air. I said, that's got to be friendly fire.
Yeah.
He got Deshaun's helmet right in the rib cage.
Yeah, that was not great.
And then he got up pounding the ground and like sprinting off the field. I'm like, he's a tough dude because he got thumped.
Yeah.
Singleton took some shots.
He took friendly fire too, didn't he?
Man,
on the one.
That dude's head must be made of plaster because there ain't no soft tissue because he was getting thumped.
Yeah, he was getting,
and he just kept coming. I'm like, this is kind of new. Like we used to look for ways to come off the field. Now we look for ways to get back on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Coach Rhule said about Barney after he gets thumped on that kickoff on that punt return.
Oh, he
just kept expecting him to come to the sideline. He's like, nope, he's going in the huddle.
He got mollywopped. And it wasn't the guy. Caleb could have killed the kid. And he kind of came by with his hands up. And
yeah, because he wanted to make sure he didn't block him in the back. It was a good job.
I was like, fudge, clean that dude up. See if he can't turn the corner. But Barney turned the corner anyway.
Yeah.
And that about hit pay dirt. I don't know what it looked like on TV.
It looked like it was really, really close.
But if he splits that thing,
yeah.
I mean, he's going 90.
When he reversed field, I was like, oh. Because there was a moment.
I wanted him to get the first vertical crease. He took it.
He took it too wide.
It's just too hard.
Yeah. It's too. You're giving guys a lot of time to catch you.
And it's too hard to feel.
Yeah.
When you reverse field, because you almost never think reverse field, get back vertical.
Yeah.
You almost think reverse field foot race.
Yeah.
But if he'd have got back vertical, that thing was just like,
I was gonna say,
I mean, it was
Red
straight
Sea.
Moses and Aaron. It was just like, because everybody's trying to beat JB to the spot.
Yeah.
So that was.
Yeah, it's basically like a cutback lane if you're a running back, right? Everybody's pursuing sideline as soon as he cuts back.
Yeah.
Or as soon as he switches the field. So there would have been a room to cut back and get upfield. But no, I
could not. There were just some things about Maryland's tackling was bugging me.
Yeah. Yeah. Justin says he thinks Maryland played dirty.
Let me see. JR?
Yeah.
I'm always it's cool.
I know you're reluctant to put that
I don't
label
like
on
using
somebody.
that word.
Yeah.
But they definitely were playing through there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
And
I would agree.
There was some vitriol out there, but I don't know where you go if you're Maryland. I mean, that's 31-0 in the last two fourth quarters, and
it's 21-0 if you're Nebraska the other way on the past two fourth quarters.
Yeah.
When have we ever talked about that?
Well, they're fit. Like I think people think I'm blowing smoke, but they practice ridiculously hard.
Can I just tell you, so I was going through
their fitness it's at a high level.
I was going through this yesterday because I don't know, somebody kind of pissed me off last week when saying Nebraska got lucky to beat Michigan State, and I was like, got lucky. They had 2 touchdowns taken off the board. They had all this other stuff happen.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, what are you talking about? Got lucky? They got hammered with bad luck, and they're like, no, we're winning anyway. And so I was kind of on this week too, and I'm looking at. So I mean, first of all, can you? I tried to find it. I have no idea when the last time Nebraska was -3 in turnover margin and won a football game.
Yeah, it's. I think you only lose you only win 7% of those games.
I mean, we got to be decades in at this point to have not won a game like that. Lance just said in the chat, when you throw a pick six on the road, your chances of winning drops to 13%.
Yeah.
Right. And so those are the big ones. Then you go, okay, they had a touchdown taken off the board again this week with a dubious at best pass interference call.
So bad.
One of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life.
So bad.
That was horrifyingly bad.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to, there's no way around. That's an awful call. And so they lose 4 points there because they end up with a field goal.
And you know what? You know what else is funny? Because, I try to take the pulse of the broadcast team. If KC would have kind of mired, or Ben would have been the one to get mad, but he's not really he only really talks to Kyle. He writes to me.
Yeah.
So if either one of those guys would have
hey, that's an awful call,
gassed it, I would have probably stayed on it. But they didn't really get into it. But it's
a terrible call. I've watched it 10 times. It's an awful
I saw
call.
it live. I told Kate, I'm like, he got rocked. I'm like, if nothing else,
it's defense
pass interference.
Oh yeah, on the defense.
You can't hit that guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really pay attention to Key scoring. And then it was dang, they pulled those points off the board, and they ended up getting 3. But
that's 4 points off the board, and 14-0 feels a lot different than 10-0. Getting it to 10-0 feels like a win there for Maryland.
How did I not know that was? Listen, first of all, he doesn't tell me anything. Second of all,
that's not his number.
I wasn't going to admit this either, but through my headsets, Jessica, twice I got to give her credit. She goes, "That's Caleb." She goes, "DB, that's Caleb." And I was like,
He doesn't wear 47.
She tried to tell me. So from here on, I mean,
you might just need to trust her.
No, I do.
I know.
I do. I get a lot of my good stuff. But that was, and she, now in my defense, she wasn't I mean, it's just her delivery.
It was more just I think it's Caleb.
Yeah. She just,
casual
and kind, right? So she wasn't saying,
hey, dummy, that's Caleb.
Yeah, she just said, hey, Shavers is going back in the game. Stop arguing with me.
Hey, stupid, that's your kid.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Again.
1-10.
I don't think she's going to call me stupid. But she might have.
I don't know. We've talked to her a couple times. I think that's on the table.
Yeah, apparently everybody thinks she's funny. Shane, make sure you get Kyle this week.
So that's one. You get touchdown taken off the board, cost you 4 points.
Yeah.
Right? We all know the 3 interceptions led to 17 points, but I broke it down more directly. First Dillon interception goes directly to a touchdown. That lets Maryland feel like they're back in the game. Then Nebraska overcomes. They score 2 more times. Second interception leads to field goal at the end of the half, so they got positive momentum going to halftime to get the ball back coming out of half, right? Maryland goal line fumble, overturned, immediately turns into a touchdown, which honestly really thought that could have gone either way. Even on the replays, really thought that could have gone either way, especially with
I
the call on
didn't
the
know.
field.
I had to, was I trying to talk myself into it? I don't know. I thought it was kind of bang, bang. I'm like, was his knee on the ground?
That's what I mean. It was hard to tell when it actually made contact with the ground because it was dark. The shadow was playing tricks on it.
The stills. And one thing their board ops guy was really good at?
Mm-hmm.
Gassing the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they just kept replaying
Like, oh,
questionable stuff.
Look at it.
And we're so Nebraska nice.
Yeah, we don't replay
We don't
anything.
really want to replay anything that makes officials look bad.
Anything questionable. That is, I thought it was it's a
Nebraska nice thing.
This is how dumb I thought it was like an NCAA policy you weren't allowed to, because the games that I go to
Nebraska's just cool like that. I think it's.
I agree, because the games that I go to are Nebraska mostly and then Creighton, and neither one of them really do it at all.
I'm telling you, it's a Nebraska nice
I
thing.
think you're right, because I felt like for a long time I was like, oh, I guess the NCAA doesn't let you.
Yeah, they were.
And it's like, no, we're just too nice.
Completely lobbying for calls.
So that was a big one. Immediately leads to a Maryland touchdown. Then you've got the Raiola pick six. And then on the drive where they actually score to tie the game, they have a holding penalty inside their own 10 and then another one inside the 30 before they even cross their own 30-yard line.
Yeah.
And what was the stat from a couple of years ago about, I mean, you don't have to give me the exact number because I have no idea what it is. But remember that like 2 years or 3 years ago when Nebraska had an offensive penalty on a drive, their scoring percentage on that drive
that was Frost last year. It was miserable.
Was basically zero.
Yeah.
It was basically zero. Like if they had anything go wrong on a drive, whether it was the fumbled snaps or the bad snaps or whatever.
Back then, and it was a lot of procedure too. Remember?
Yeah, illegal procedure stuff, false starts, holds, whatever. If they had anything negative happen on an offensive drive, they basically never scored the entire year. So to see that and have two pretty critical ones, including the Pritchett one, which took away a nice reception from Lindemeyer that would have been a first down, like to see that and then go and get the field goal started to go get the fourth quarter, like that's just the ones right off the top of my head that I noticed. Where Nebraska's like, yeah, all of these bad things are going to happen to us. We're going to be -3 in turnover margin. Our quarterback's going to throw a pick six. We're going to have guys running in and off the field, getting banged up all the time. We're going to have another touchdown taken off the board. We're going to have another game-changing turnover taken off the board. And they're like, yeah, no, we're still going to go win this thing.
Yeah, Nebraska won a game in which they exceeded their penalty average, went -3 in turnovers, inexplicably allowed 7 of 15 in third down conversions, although
which is way out of character for what this year's been.
Although when they needed to get stops on third down, like
fourth quarter they did.
Yeah, like
fourth quarter they did.
They got them off the field.
There was a huge McCullough one on.
Do you know how many 3-and-outs Maryland had?
None.
0.
Yeah, I don't think they had any.
0-3.
That's
Nebraska,
crazy.
You know how many Nebraska forced?
Before that?
No, how many 3-and-outs did Nebraska's defense force?
2?
3. Maryland forced none, and Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's like the stats are. How many plays do you think Nebraska ran?
I think it's right at 60.
59.
Okay.
Do you know how many Maryland had?
It's gonna be 58.
68.
68.
Does it seem like Maryland ran more plays than Nebraska?
I thought it was about the same.
It didn't to me.
It felt like it was about the same.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been within a couple.
The more you know.
Couple plays there. Do we want to get to Michigan, Lance?
Yeah, we can get to. We got a lot to parse through.
Yeah, some things happen over the weekend.
Let's talk to old Michigan Lance.
Lance, what's going on, buddy?
Good morning, boys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, man.
Hi, Lance.
Hey, I know you're in a good place. You don't have to look at James Franklin on Saturdays anymore.
I used to vouch for him. So, okay. Let me backdrop just for our listening audience. I went through once upon a time where I was killing James Franklin. Then you would come on and you told me I was being stupid. Like, look at the numbers. So then I spent 2 years. I'm like, okay, let me see why Lance is so mad at me. Is it a black head coach thing? Is he right? Is it both? Those are all the things.
Is it because he's bald?
Yeah. Is it because is it the wire rim glasses? Exactly. So then, like Ravi and I, was this 2 years ago? We took a super deep.
No, that was this summer. That was this summer.
We took a super deep dive. We went through recruiting classes, the whole 9. James Franklin was actually he's really good. Like
right. And thank you for
really,
finally researching.
Really it was
3 years.
It was incredible
for where they recruit at.
He only had the 2020. He had the one really good recruiting class. Because I think he only
Come on,
had
man.
like 3 top 10s in the last since he was there.
Yeah, he's most recent one was like 2021, and right after COVID, he was
it's the Allen. It's this class.
Yeah, but after that, it's all 15.
And I was like,
16s. I think there's a 12.
Do you realize what's the stat, Ravi?
He has 34 wins in the 3 years prior to being fired. The closest I could find besides that was 28
wins.
And that was who? Ryan Day, probably.
Well, Ryan Day's not fired.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said fired. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. So the most wins the coaches had in the previous 3 years before being fired.
I got you.
He won 13 games last year.
I believe it's Bo Pelini at 28.
Okay.
In my
there's
a bunch
that would make sense.
There's a bunch of guys at 27. Mark Richt is at 27. Ironically, Frank Solich is at 27. Orgeron was at like 26 or 27. Like there's a bunch of guys in like the mid to high 20s. I don't think the only guy that would be close is if Dabo gets fired this year, he'd be at 30. Still 4 short though.
Hey, is there any part of you that thinks Franklin was like, look, man, you guys don't appreciate me. Just give me my buyout.
Because I'm trying to think from their side, why would they do it?
Oh, I know why I know why they did it, but I think
why?
Well, because they think they're Ohio State. I think in their heads, they think they are a different program than they are.
I do think it is the job where you negotiate and not interview.
Yes, most definitely.
Like you announce a coach, you announce a coaching hire. You don't.
Yeah. Because they, man, he's. I'm with you, DB. Yeah, he probably did say that. Like all those wins.
It doesn't seem like Kraft's style, but they're AD. But I mean,
if the big money people start pushing, it gets hard in a hurry.
Well, you got to think you have your target.
You certainly have a target, but like unless it's a guy
that's what I was about to say.
Unless it's a guy that's not coaching right now, you certainly don't have a hire.
No, I know, and I think they're okay with that.
I think that's fine, but like that leaves a lot of room to get messy.
So here's the deal. Do you know why?
Why?
The season is tanked anyway. None of your preseason goals are intact.
Fair.
So what difference does it make if you wait to make the hire? You probably know who you want it to be.
Yes.
Who cares if you say it tomorrow in 2 months?
Yeah.
The season is over.
Yeah.
You lost your quarter. It's over.
So that's the I think to answer your question, Lance, that's why if you're dead set on getting rid of him, you can't give Franklin a chance to end up winning 8 or 9 games.
Right. And so here's my thing about that though. Like, okay, you have a guy you want, but does that guy want to come to Penn State? So you think the money is going to be hard to refuse money?
I'll tell you too.
Penn State isn't the best place to go to, man.
Listen,
I agree.
We'll get into it. I'm 100% with you. There's 2 things I believe to be true. Right, currently in 2025, Indiana's a better job than Penn State. So if I'm Cignetti, and I'm not going anywhere because I'm about to be in the playoffs. So
right,
I hold all the cards. I do what I want. I'm either negotiating or I'm staying because all of a sudden Bloomington has found money. And
right.
And the other candidate that keeps popping up, I'm almost 100% certain he wouldn't tell you that Nebraska isn't currently positioned to be a better job than Penn State. So I don't.
Oh, I forgot about him.
What do you mean?
Penn State, I forgot he's connected to Penn State.
Yeah.
And so people
Kraft hired him at Temple.
Here's the thing. For when it comes to like you said, recruiting and stuff like
Josh
that.
Asked about Tressel. That's a good.
He's at 33, but I was thinking of guys that weren't fired for like cause.
Okay.
But he's at 33 still, so he's still short.
It'll be interesting because the stuff from
you think he is.
He's smart.
The stuff from the Sandusky era still looms around there in recruiting. With kids and parents.
I think it's a hard job.
I do too.
It is.
Like for the brand and expectations versus what the job actually is, I think are way out of whack.
You know what's
I mean,
funny? My guy sent me some stats. Husker X's and O's.
Mhm.
This was right after maybe UCLA. No, was it after Northwestern? Percentage win index, like analytics for Nebraska, Penn State. And Nebraska was like at 63%, 63-6 to win the game.
Wow.
I'm dead. And that was a week ago. He sent that to me.
Yep.
Who knows what it is today?
Hey, man, like you said, like Penn State,
it's a hard job.
They didn't lose any games they were favored in until this year.
No, I know.
You know what I mean? So people are like, well, he doesn't win the top 10. Well, he's not favored in those either. It's not like he went in with the better team and lost. It was either equal and more times often less than.
Listen, I tried to be incognito. I was not going to do social media. I was so sick of my phone yesterday, I started to toss it. But, I told the guys at CBS, they DM. I'm like, you guys keep throwing Coach Rhule's name out there, and it's fine, right? They should have re-signed him. They should have redone the deal last year. Now they're going to have to pony up. This is what you get when your program wins, but let's not act like Coach Rhule doesn't know what he's getting into. He knows the alma mater thing. He knows the alumni thing. He knows what kind of job Penn State is.
Most definitely.
Like, why walk into that? He also knows what he's building at Nebraska. In Vegas, 4 months ago, he says, wait till you see what kind of job this is in 3 years financially. And now, listen, I'm cheering for all the leverage in the world for a guy that, because this isn't me just liking Coach Rhule. It's not. This isn't our relationship at all. Because these next two things I'm about to tell you are absolutely true. He defended Nebraska from the jump before it was popular to defend Nebraska. He hadn't won one thing. I love this place. This place can be special. I understand its history. He walked through the doors saying that. And now, has some other people said that? Kind of.
Not really. He's
rocked with it the whole time.
I got you.
Number two, actually 1A, because I have a second. He's told, I've seen it on the recruiting trail. I know the pitch. I know what he's saying about, hey, I'm just telling you guys, get in before we get going, because number one, it's going to tell me a couple things. Number one, you're about us. Number two, don't just wait for us to start winning when it's easy. Do what's hard. Like, do what's hard. Buy into us now before we start winning. So again, you know me, like the super heart starts swelling. It's like trying to walk and knocking on doors in Northwest neighborhood, handing out flyers, trying to get kids to come to the school, right? Like, you know, you were a part of that. So that tugs at my heartstrings. But lastly, he understands what happened in Carolina. He loves his family. He loves his kiddos. He loves his wife. Quality of life matters. Like, he's been, I'm not in his pocketbooks, but like, do you think he's splitting hairs between 8 million and 10? Or if anything, he'd say, pony up for my NIL kitty, and let's just not be in a position where we're at the mercy of other schools. It's not going to be about him. You want this guy leading your program in the state of Nebraska. I said it 2 years ago. I said it 2 weeks ago to Sam. I'm going to say it again. This is my personal feelings about the strength of he and I relationship aside. You want his character traits leading this university. He's thick-skinned enough with the media where he can play games and poke and have barbs and still do his thing, right? He's not sitting here telling you he doesn't listen at all. He's got enough conviction and integrity to just go to work, and he's got those DNA roots of just being tough-minded. Like, he wants all the smoke. He doesn't want it easy. He creates chaos so he can test himself to function at a high level. You want that guy here. I'm just telling you. I don't know if they're playing for championships. I believe they are, but his temperament and DNA, you want this guy leading Nebraska.
So here's the thing. That goes back to what I said about what, and he's in the category. What good coach making a lot of money out there already will want to come to Penn State? I'm like,
are they
I don't
already
think you guys are playing this right.
Are they already coaching?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Who else are you gonna?
Well, Urban Meyer is the obvious.
Here we go. His name again.
Listen, I'm just saying, if you're Penn State, and because well, let's talk about why James Franklin got fired. They thought they were going to win.
I think Jimbo Fisher's interesting.
I think it is too.
Ooh, but is Jimbo going to leave that money? Well, they got to replace that money from A&M.
Jimbo's just hanging out.
Making a lot of money though.
If you're,
he wants to get back in though. He'd like a $40 million roster.
Yes. Like if you're sitting here and you're sitting here and you go, I'm Penn State. I just fired James Franklin, who won 13 games last year, who was 3 points away from playing in the national title game last year. And I'm sitting here and I go, okay, we've got this guy who has done all this, has the most wins, I think, ever before getting fired. And we fire him for what amounts to 2 very, very bad weeks. And what is the reason for that? It has to be because we thought we were going to win a national title this year. So they're obviously.
So you feel like you're not going to do it with him?
Well, so that's how they obviously felt. I can agree or disagree, but that's how they obviously felt. So to me, that says we are 100% in win now mode if we're Penn State.
So I think to Ravi's point earlier, he made a good point about the handful, like how you've narrowed the bucket. Because if you're mad at Franklin over wins against, it's such low-hanging, poorly researched fruit. Like, you've got to get into, was he favored? Was he not favored? Was he the better team?
Did he cover the spread?
Because he's constantly actually, I don't think he's good ATS. So I'll let that one go.
That's fine, but you have to look, and nobody brings that up.
But he constantly has them in a position to be in a top 10 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
I think we're super dismissive. When I was talking to the CBS guys, I'm like, this isn't revisionist history. This isn't me trying to champion a head coach at Nebraska that I like when I say, you mean to tell me every time you guys take shots at Coach Rhule and the national media, what do you always bring up? The same thing, the record against top programs. You guys fail to realize he's in year 2 and year 3. He doesn't get to year 4, 5, and 6 where they're actually established, where he's going into these games in an even playing field. Mm-hmm. Like they're the upstarts. They're the team that isn't supposed to be there. So Penn State has positioned themselves on several occasions to play in Oregon or to play at Georgia or Texas or whomever. It's always Ohio State. I mean, how many of these losses are against Ohio State?
Almost all of them.
Right.
So it's like
and now Oregon, but that, like, you're talking about literally 2 of the 5 best teams in the country.
Well, what Indiana did not help James Franklin.
Absolutely.
So,
it hasn't helped anybody's case.
And I understand that, but we are extremely my point where I was going with the guys from CBS is we should try being a little more appreciative in the moment if we even remotely understand the landscape of college football. Mm-hmm. Like, it is hard. It is hard to win. Look at the scoreboards every week.
Exactly.
It's hard.
Exactly.
Listen, Minnesota's throwing the ball 58% of the time.
Minnesota.
Why is Minnesota throwing the ball 58% of the time? Well, probably a couple different reasons, but number one, you want to be an attractive place to come.
And they're falling behind a lot. But,
right? And you've been getting behind
get like
playing
that in high school.
Oh, listen, I know.
Yeah, I got some thoughts about the high school part too. But
are you an attractive place to go play high school football? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll out with the wing tee and see if you're gonna get some kids.
No, I get it.
Lance, to kind of to my point, you've got, like, first of all, I think that's one of the things that doesn't make sense if you're Penn State, that you would want to go after Coach Rhule, even if I think it's like, I think everybody should want Coach Rhule. But like, if you're in win now mode and you go like, okay, this guy is a program builder, Like, I don't know that
Right.
makes sense for what you're looking for right now. That's why when DB brings up Urban Meyer, I don't think it's crazy. When he brings up Jimbo Fisher, I don't think it's crazy. I think those are guys you probably like. If I'm Penn State and I'm in my delusional world in which I think it's a good idea to fire James Franklin, the list probably goes Cignetti, Jimbo, Urban, Dabo.
Let me ask you something.
Somewhere in that
Lance,
order.
In 2025, is Penn State a better job than Indiana?
No,
Okay.
not today.
All right.
Not today. Penn State with James Franklin was closer to a national championship than not.
Yeah,
like he wasn't like Pelini. Pelini's record was that, but he wasn't close to winning a championship though. Like he was in the games, but those games weren't close. And so you felt like the program was further away than it was, hey, if we just do this, we'll get over the hump. There were several things that needed to be done, and it all wasn't on Pelini as well. It was him and the structure of the athletic, or actually the school program. You know what I mean?
But they weren't in any danger of winning a national title under Pelini. Like that's
right.
That's the case.
Right, or close to it. So when Franklin is, I'm like, you guys, so you think you could just roll out and go find that? No, like you can't. It's not. I'm like, all right, man, this just didn't, to me, like there's some things that don't make sense for real. Like this one didn't for real. Like,
come on, man. Can I also say like this, and I haven't heard anybody else say this, but I think it's a thing that matters a lot when you're talking about the Coach Rhule part of this equation, is how many times have we heard Coach Rhule talk about how much he loves other football coaches or coaches in general? He loves coaches.
A lot.
Right? He knows how hard it is.
There's a lot of respect.
He appreciates what they do. There's a ton of respect there. You think that's a guy who's going to walk over to a program that just did that to a guy who had won a ton and always really like, am I misremembering? Had James Franklin ever not represented the university well at Penn State? Especially after what they were coming off of?
And he made us forget. He literally made us forget.
Like, you think a guy that has the level of respect for his coaching peers in any sport that Matt Rhule does is going to all of a sudden be like, yeah, I think you handled that correctly with this guy who's a very good coach and representative of the university?
I think Penn State is an extremely difficult job.
I agree.
I think it's tough. I think it's tough. It's tough to get to. That's not in an attractive part of the country. It's kind of been off the cool radar for a while. James Franklin made it cool again.
He did.
With a little swag. Like,
where are they in the recruiting pecking order in the Big Ten?
Hey, and
I know what they think they should. So what in reality.
So
what I was gonna say though, Lance, is Penn State and A&M, and you maybe could have made the case about Nebraska. Penn State and A&M, in my opinion, are the two schools that are the furthest away between realistic expectations and fan expectations.
Auburn.
Auburn is definitely in the discussion.
That's the one I thought of. I think Penn State's Auburn. That's what I think.
Like, it's a harder job than Paterno made it.
Well, and for what I mean, just for if you
it's a harder job than James Franklin made it.
In the 20 years from the time that Penn State joined the Big Ten, 1993, to the year before Franklin got hired, 2013, how many 10-win seasons do you think Penn State had?
In 20 years?
Yeah.
2.
3.
So they had 7. It was better, a little bit better than we thought.
Oh.
How many do you think Franklin's had?
Oh, I misunderstood the question. I thought you meant
no. This is separate.
This
is separate from Franklin. The 7 is between 93 and 2013. They had 7. Since 2013 with Franklin, how many do you think they've had?
5.
6.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So like he's been really, really good.
Yeah.
Like throughout. I know like he had the weird COVID year like blip. He's been really, really good. And the only 2 years that were bad before that were the 2 years when he took over, when that program was a dumpster fire.
This program is about to go into, like, it's gonna be, nobody's gonna watch or care. Like you that matters too now. Franklin was interesting enough for you to watch.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Man,
that's a good point.
Because Bill O'Brien wasn't interesting enough to watch.
No.
Not at all.
And he was
he was pretty good. He was pretty, like, considering what he was in, he was pretty good.
But he wasn't bringing eyeballs to that
Boring.
stuff matters now.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people think that stuff, and now they're going to Adidas. I'm like, you guys are making some moves here. Where it's like,
you hate on Adidas. You better recognize Adidas is coming.
Yeah, that's what Travis Hunter says too. We'll see. I've been hearing that since Nebraska won 3 national championships, and it still hasn't.
Well, I get it. I get it. SC is a Nike school, but Jumpman didn't do Michigan any favors this weekend.
No, they did. Man.
I missed the Apex days.
But hey, I'm still on. Hey, oh my! In conference, that was bad. That just made it. That was hard.
That's the glory day. That's your high school days, man. You should have been hyped.
And I couldn't believe. I'm like, why are you guys wearing Larry Johnson basketball shoes? It doesn't make sense. But no. Oh yeah, Michigan. Yeah, that was. Hey man, like I said we'll be the best 9-3, worst 8-4. Still on track for that, so I'm good. I mean, I didn't expect to win these games. I did expect to win Oklahoma.
I don't know why.
USC,
why does everybody hate on Adidas? At least Adidas is contemporary. Like, they're doing NIL deals. You don't think that's a big deal?
No. That is, and what they did for Travis Hunter and his brother. They move strategically and things, but it's just
don't sleep now.
The look isn't always as pleasing. You know what I mean? This stuff just still doesn't look good. They still haven't.
Well, I mean, listen, nobody wanted to wear Nike until Jordan, so.
That's true. Nike
was a running company.
They still hurt your feet.
Nike was a running company.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So I'm saying,
Bo Jackson had a little something to do with that too. He helped them get.
I forgot. I might have to dust. We might have to dust Bo off. I got about 8 different Bo Jackson heads I can put up here on the studio.
For sure, man.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah, I got time. Go ahead.
All in on Sharon Moore?
I don't know. I'm a little shaky because.
Oh, here's the question: would you trade Sharon Moore for James Franklin right now?
Yes, I would.
Okay, that's all I needed. That's all I needed to know.
Answer.
That's all I needed to know.
Most definitely.
We appreciate it, Lance.
I'm not an idiot. Come on, man. We're winning the national championship with James Franklin.
Okay, thanks. Love you. Bye.
Appreciate you, Lance. We got Sam McKEWON coming up next.
Have a good day. Love you.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, so we came out of last game, and we looked at the numbers, and we were like, 5.5, 6 yards a carry. We had a bunch of good runs. So we just said, hey, and we knew that they have these freshman edge rushers that are really, really dynamic in 29 and 9. So we were just like, hey, we're going to run the football, especially early. And, that first drive, we was clear, I think of our first 11 runs, I think 6 or 7 of them were 6+ yard runs. So we were feeling really good. But Emmett was on fire. And, I think 2 plays that really stand out to me are the play where Dylan was getting hit in the backfield, spun out and hit Luke, and then Luke went down the sideline, and then obviously Emmett's long run. I mean, I was screaming at the officials, and then he kept still running because I didn't know, we're not screaming, but just screaming to run, and I didn't realize he was even still running at some point. They're just such a great run. So I just think Emmett's the ultimate competitor, but you look at him, like I said, he's third in Big Ten in rushing, so Dana wanted to get him some more attempts, and they did a good job of controlling the clock for a team that's not really a running offense, a passing offense. They did have the ball quite a bit, and then our turnovers in the first half hurt us, so we didn't get a ton of rhythm. But we knew eventually we would break through.
Yeah, I think just the whole team support kind of coming together. A lot of great moments happen on the sideline during that game, whether it be, offense stalls out and I get C.R. Wright and Marquise Buford up my face saying, hey, let's go, we got you, or, vice versa. I'd say it was just a great team win when, one group or one side of the ball would get down, the other was there to pick us right back up, had each other's backs the whole game. Today truly felt like one team, and I think that's something that's really hard to build. Something that we've been coming together towards for a really, really long time. At times last year we didn't have that, but today it showed through.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Huskers at their own 40. Trying to tie this game up. Raiola out of the gun. 2 wide to the left. Snap and a counter action towards Johnson. Bounces out right 45. Foot race accelerates 40. Johnson to the 30. Cuts left to the 25. Still stays on his feet. Bounces out right 15. Brought down from behind. How in the world did EJ just do that? Down to the 10. First and goal, 50 beautiful yards.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla. If you're on the roads this morning, make sure you got that seatbelt fastened and make it click. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We're now joined by Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. Sam, how are we doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Sam, how we doing, bud? How's the weather? Is it a little cool in Lincoln? What's going on?
Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's I don't know, 68, perfect.
God,
nothing to complain about.
That should be the
55.
high.
I'm sorry, 55.
That should be the high, don't you think?
68 will be the high. It's going to be 50. It's 55 right now. It's perfect.
It's brisk outside. Makes you feel good. Makes you feel alive.
This is ideal. It's fall and it's grass. Sam, I got to revisit something from a couple of weeks ago. We do not. And he forced one, and he threw an interception in the end zone. We do not want Patrick Mahomes or Dylan Raiola forcing balls in the red zone. All right, we've landed that. Did you know you jinxed Mahomes a couple weeks ago?
When he threw the interception?
Yeah, trying to fit it in.
You live with it, and you live with the sword, and you die by the sword a little bit.
Hey, how about?
And guess who said that on Saturday? Matt Rhule said that, related to Dylan Raiola.
Yes, he is.
He said, you live with the sword, you die by the sword.
I was talking
He threw a great throw to Dane Keith. So,
I was talking
Could I not die by him just not getting the ball out of bounds, though? Could we do that instead? I'd prefer not to die that way.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Let's get that thing 15 yards out of bounds.
No question about it. I'm not defending that one. I actually asked about that one because I felt like that one needed to be explained because it was inexplicable if it wasn't that.
Yeah.
And then the first and the third ones, again.
First one I thought
I think
was trying to jam it in there. Second one I thought was miscommunication. Or third one I thought was miscommunication. It's the second one, and I'm like, hey, what's going on there, bud?
Yeah, the first one's a throw that and I don't know. Damon can speak better to that than I can. I think your receivers got to fight. I don't know. Because you play the game. I think your receivers got to fight hard on that first one a little bit, and it doesn't matter. They won the game, and they won because they were the more physical, resilient team, and by the fourth quarter, all of the blows that they had landed running the ball kind of came home. And once those things happen, you can just see another team kind of give out a little bit. And I think Maryland actually played pretty well. Their quarterback played very well for a true freshman, but they didn't have the plays at the end because I think Nebraska had set the hook early. And even though they made the mistakes, they were the more physical team at the end. The last time that Nebraska won with a -3 turnover margin was against Illinois in 2019. And that was the same deal where Nebraska dominated the game and almost lost because they, screwed around. But they eventually, they ran for like 400 yards. And eventually the more dominant team is going to surge late. And Nebraska had enough in the tank, and they made enough plays.
So, Sam, let me ask you something. I was talking to Dom after the game. He's with the wifey and Dayton, and I said, this is as a dad, this is like one of those chapters in a book, in the life book, like you want in the story. The triumph, kind of the getting up off the floor. It wasn't always rainbows and butterflies. And Dom looked dead at me, kind of deadpan, straight face, and he goes, "We're checking them all off, aren't we?" Like that just – I mean, how cool is that, though, where it wasn't good, right? You can hear the murmurs. He had the booing comments a couple of weeks ago, and that got taken out of context. And then there was the Mahomes talk, and he hasn't changed at all up to this point, like who he is, like the perseverance from the poster child. And I said it during the broadcast, like this was the most opportune time, if he could pull this off, for the face of the program to stand and deliver. And he absolutely did.
He did. Yeah, you have to give him a lot of credit for the way that he played in the final 2 drives of the game. I don't know what the delay of game, I rarely put that on the quarterback, and I don't think it was. But he really did a nice job late in the game. I thought he battled. I thought he played, hard and made the throws that needed to be made, bought time, took a risk, throwing to Key there. But, I mean, there's a lot of things in the game that he did well. Keeping the play alive to Lindenmeyer and throwing a touchdown there. Lindenmeyer made a great play, but you know what? That was a really good play by Dylan. And then later in the game, the Harburg thing was similar. It was a similar kind of thing, and both sides make great plays. And so Dylan's making plays. I think what you learned on Saturday, though, once again, is there's limits to how much you can rely on your quarterback to deliver in the Big Ten. And so what I thought the difference was is they came out and they ran the ball early. Their offensive line came off the ball. Emmett Johnson ran hard, to his credit. They weren't afraid to go downhill. I know they only ran it 30 times, but it felt like a greater commitment, and they stuck with it a little bit. They blocked a little bit better. They were a little tougher. I think Maryland was bothered by Nebraska's physicality, and so they got chippy at times. That's what happens sometimes when you feel like you're getting physically beaten.
Not a huge fan of that playing style. And I can see, and you can, you're up high. Like, you can see Loxley and some of that staff trying to talk to their guys about their antics. I don't think that's anything that they can condone necessarily. But once it goes on, you have to get kind of the sense it's somewhat allowed, or they feel like they could take the liberties, right? I mean,
I think so.
Loxley talked to Taylor for about 5 or 6 minutes on the sidelines. But then about 3 series later, he put him in for Mathis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I think that there's situations where they got to put guys out on the field and they got to learn. I thought Maryland's reactions to a lot of stuff, it was kind of like the Lions last night. You get chippy when you get beat. And I think Maryland's defense got a little whatever because they could not actually control what was happening between the whistles as much as they wanted to. And I think they thought they were going to, and they didn't. And in some ways, that was Nebraska's best game of the season. Now, they weren't perfect. They certainly weren't perfect by any means. But in some ways, that was their best game because I'm like, okay, that's an identity you can take somewhere and win a game. Your coordinator went out and called run plays. It wasn't perfect, but they got the ball out of Dylan's hands. So a lot of the throws were extended runs, screen passes. I felt like there's a growing comfort with we're going to be defined by an Isaiah Hunter and his physicality. I like that. I think you absolutely have to continue to use Ja'Cory Barney in as many ways as you can, but I think Hunter needs to get the ball. I think he's not only got the hot hand, but he is the guy in the Big Ten who he's the guy. Like, that's the guy that you want to get the football and break tackles and do all the things. And I think Dylan has warmed all the way up to that, and Dana has too. And so now I think you're starting to see a physicality emerge from that offense that's going to be fun to watch at the end of the season. They brought Caden Echternock in a couple of times. The run plays they used him on didn't quite work. One of those was probably Emmett's fault. Didn't quite follow the block.
You're talking about where they got beat inside with the 2 free rushers. That was tough. Like, you got to kick out the first guy, and Echternock's got to be a little flatter on his path. That's a good look by Maryland, but that execution will be better with more reps. That's pretty good look. They both slammed inside, so it was hard for Echternock on his path to get inside that kick out block.
That's true. I think Johnson could have gone a little left there, but the point is that they're starting now now they've got a third tight end and they know who he is. And he's going to come in and play. And so I know the short yardage stuff is a pain. People are frustrated with it. I hear from people like, what is going on there? But I'm just telling you that I think they're getting there. Janiron Bonner's injury was a much larger deal than we appreciate. And I think they're starting to figure out those things. And now halfway through the season, I think they're developing the identity that's like, we can go to Minnesota and we can win. We can beat Northwestern this way. We can play UCLA and control the ball and keep the ball away from their quarterback. If you can do those things, there's a path to 9, 10, even 11 wins. But you got to stay on that path, and you got to beat back the distraction of whatever's going on with Rhule and Penn State.
Yeah, that's not a distraction. I'm not even lending any credence to that, Sam. We're not going to talk about that outside of after he answers his questions in the presser today. It's only a distraction if we let it be. Like, we speak that into existence. I want to say that, number one. Number two, a lot of the little subtle nuance in the run game is, when Emmett or these backs are offset by the quarterback, what Emmett is now doing is he scoots closer to the quarterback on the snap, and he gets it's almost like a direct path where he's offset, he scoots downhill, where he gives himself a two-way go. So it does two things. It not only adds to the timing of it, especially if you have pullers and duo.
Makes it more challenging fit for the
He gives himself a two-way go. It's much more downhill than it is like sweeping action of inside zone. Those little things that they keep working on lets me know that they're super cognizant of what it's going to take to be an effective run game in October and November.
That's a really good point.
You got to watch
and
it.
Of course
It's pretty slick.
You can do it the other way. I know exactly what you're talking about, that he's offset more than he's to the side.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit.
He has the give. He comes close to Dylan, and he's running downhill more than he is right to left or left to right.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it down because he's really patient, and it allows for the things to happen in front of him. I like it. I like it a lot.
I do too. I thought that is the highest. That is the most rushing yards they've had against the power conference opponent since.
And Maryland had been good against the run.
Colorado back in 2023, and those yards were sort of fluffy at the end. They were down by 30, but it's been a long time since they've actually run the ball that well, and they did it without a quarterback. So Dylan Raiola was not running, whereas Jeff Sims in that game was running. So I think Nebraska's, again, that was one of their better games People may not think that because they almost lost, but that was a better game to me than Michigan State. Like that was, I think Maryland's a better team, and I think Nebraska played a better game. And
I
think
do now after this week, but
I didn't think they were going
Maryland
in.
wasn't better going in.
I didn't think they were going in. I thought Malik Washington played better than I thought he was capable of at this point.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But
well, I think Nebraska.
I thought he was talented.
Nebraska took some of the stuffing out of Michigan State too. So Michigan State's quarterback got hammered against Nebraska.
He shouldn't have been playing.
Yeah, he was.
No. Now they're in a real problem because he may not want to play. He should have been playing. He may shut it down. No, he got pummeled against Nebraska, and then they put him back out there against UCLA. And I don't know if that's a miscommunication with the quarterback and the coach, or the quarterback demanded that he would play because he's tough. But Michigan State, what you saw, I thought, against UCLA was that they were physically banged up. And I'm not trying to overpraise Nebraska here, but they were banged up based on playing Nebraska, and their quarterback was awful. And so now, but, we'll see what happens going forward. Nebraska plays Minnesota on Friday. Minnesota hasn't run the ball very well, but I think they have been purposely running a pitch count on their running back.
Sam, they throw the ball 58% of the time. They're not even trying to hide it.
Magically on Friday, they're going to run the ball.
I don't know.
That's my prediction.
I don't know.
That's my prediction, is that all of a sudden Darius Taylor's going to be healthy and they're going to run the ball. I think they've been laying in wait. I think that they knew that they were going to be able to
almost lost to
Purdue.
Purdue. What are they waiting for?
I know. This is just my hunch, is that on Friday night, all of a sudden, you're going to see them run the ball. I don't know if they're going to be successful, but I think they're going to try. And they've been waiting for their running back to get healthy. I know they like their quarterback. Their receivers are pretty good. Their defense bends and doesn't break or whatever. It's not that good of a defense. But the Minnesota that Nebraska will see on Friday will be a pain in the butt. I'm just telling you, I think Nebraska can win the game and probably should win the game. They're a 6.5-point favorite, but that's still Minnesota, and they will come and they will today we're going to run the ball, and that's how I think it's going to happen. We'll see.
No PP tucking for me. No. I spent all off season hand-wringing consternation about Minnesota, and I'm watching them play, and I'm not I'm not saying that they can't win the game. I'm just saying Minnesota isn't who I thought they were in the preseason. Now, will they have something for Nebraska on a short week? Maybe, but they got their own issues, and I think it starts with their identity.
They do.
I'm not sure who they want Drake Lindsay to be.
Well, they don't want him to be like a dual threat, really. That's not it.
It's kind of weird.
I think this is my hunch, and this is just watching pressers and reading stuff and talking to some people. I think their impression is the only way that Minnesota football is going to get to where Indiana is they actually have to start throwing the ball more, because you're not really going to get there with 20 attempts a game. And I know Notre Dame did that last year, but Minnesota doesn't have Notre Dame's talent, and so you have to build it a little bit more around the quarterback, and you have to be able to score. You have to score points, and there are games where Minnesota would score 9 or 8 or 12. And so I think they're trying to make that adjustment. At the same time, their running back got hurt. And he's a good running back, and I think he is going to be – we'll see. I don't know for sure. I would have thought that they would have started unleashing him against Purdue, but they didn't. And so now part of me thinks that the game on Friday is going to be about that. Guess what? Nebraska's got all the tools to stop Minnesota's offense, and they should. They have no excuses to make. I know they're a little small up front. They're not 337 pounds or whatever.
And you know what's funny is if Nebraska fits out of the second and third level, we're not talking nearly as much about the D-line. So it all goes together.
Yeah, it does. And again, they have all the tools, and they got the coordinator to do it. He's a good coordinator. He's done.
You talking about Butler?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's done a good job.
I'm not
he's done much better than people think he has. He's done a real nice job with that.
You know my favorite thing. Well, there's a couple, but my favorite thing, how he utilizes personnel within the schemes. Like, he's willing to tinker and toy with packages to fit the concepts that he thinks can slow these teams down. That's development, right? If a guy's good at this, he should do this in this package. Based on the concepts, this other guy that has this skill sets, he can do like that is coaching 101. Like I don't, it's early, so I can't call him elite, but I'm just looking at the schemes and the personnel and how they lever versus, like, he's pretty good right now. He has exceeded any expectations, in my opinion, that I think the fan base had of him, because I don't think we really know what we're looking at when we critique him. I think we just see stats. We don't. His game within the game, I think, is fantastic. I was listening to Jess, and I get it. I have an advantage because she's on the sidelines. Nebraska was driving. They hadn't taken the lead yet. And Jess goes, she's like, guys, you've got to hear Butler. He's got the defense over here with a pass rushing package and pass defense on what's going to happen if Maryland gets the ball back. There was like 5 minutes and some change to go in the game. Right? And it's just those little things that I think we can't see and we don't know that lets me know he's always prepared for what's next. You know what I mean? Like, he's relentless.
He's relentless. I think he's probably, nobody's going to talk it really. He's kind of mentioned it offhand. They need to get better. I'm not going to say they need to get better players, but they need to start playing more of the young guys and the players they've recruited, and they need to continue to get better as just players.
And I think he knows that, right? Like, I think they're far.
They need to maybe get some better players too.
They're far from a finish. That's why the whole Penn State Rhule thing drives me crazy, and I get it because it's low hanging fruit and it's pretty lazy research, but the two good things I think could happen is, obviously, the more Nebraska wins, the more the Coach Rhule talk gets ramped up. But here's the thing I think we undersell about Coach Rhule. Number one, it puts him in a position to say, hey, listen, I talk about $30, $40 million rosters. The money isn't about me. You don't, like, I'm going to be fine. I love my family. As long as my family likes it here, I'm going to be good. I want my daughters and Bryant happy. They're going to be good. I want Julie to be happy. I want her to be good. You know what? I think the best thing to come out of this is hopefully we put ourselves in a position where they're not at the mercy of competing against other teams because they don't have the revenues. It's not about how much money he can make, because he's always been about the players. He, like, from Temple to Baylor to Carolina, like, those guys don't love on him the way that they do post him leaving without him Hassan Reddick is sending text messages after he signs a big deal. Like, there's other guys Hassan Reddick can text, right? But he reaches out to Coach Rhule. Like, so I think we're missing the mark on what we're talking about with the whole Penn State deal. I actually hope what happens is monies get put in the coffers for the players, not for Coach Rhule, because I think that's where his heart is. And it's just, I could be way off, but I mean,
I don't think you're way off.
He's fiscally savvy. No. He loves his family. Yeah. He loves Nebraska. Sam, when he first got here, he talked about what kind of job this could be. He talked about the position he wanted to put Nebraska in. And when he recruited, he says, listen, I know I'm going for top-end guys. Don't wait for us to win. Hop on board now. Like, he's been consistent in the whole message. This is just what comes with winning, right? This is just the cost of doing business. I don't have any qualms with it. I'm just not subscribing to the Penn State talk at all.
So you're not subscribing to the even the concept that he's a candidate?
No.
He would be a candidate for that job. You don't think Penn State would be interested?
Sam, I used to want to date the best-looking girl in the school. She didn't want me. It doesn't matter. like who cares if Penn State wants Coach Rhule? He has to want to go there. It's wasted energy. I want to be rich. I want a lot of things. Sam, like you want a lot of things. Like,
sure.
I'm not poo-pooing the fact that Penn State would be interested, but I will say
they're interested. I'm sure.
Oh, I mean, okay, but you also have.
I mean, when you say it's low-hanging fruit, it's not.
It is. Really. Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know why it is low-hanging fruit, Sam? Because when we want to bitch and moan and complain about what Coach Rhule isn't doing on the national level, we post his record against top 25 teams, and we don't do any research. We don't do whether they were favored or supposed to win. We just say, oh, he can't beat X team. He hasn't beat X team. Meanwhile, we don't even pay attention to year 4 or year 5 because he hasn't gotten there. So so hear my heart though. That's low hanging fruit. That's low hanging fruit. You also running. You also you couldn't get along with a guy that won 13 games last year, that won 34 games in the 3 seasons prior to him being fired or whatever happened, and you think like that's advantageous to walk into? He went to Carolina because of opportunity. We're selling him. We're selling him way short. We're selling him way short.
I'm not saying right. I'm not suggesting that move is going to happen.
It doesn't matter if Penn State wants him. Like, I don't know why people keep saying that. Like, that's fine.
It matters a little.
It absolutely doesn't.
Well, a little it does.
Why? Humor
because
me.
if they didn't want him, then he would for certain that, like that's part of like the reason that you bring up the concept.
Why
of
does
NIL
it matter if they want him?
The reason that you would bring up the concept of rev share and NIL isn't because it would be vis-a-vis, say, Iowa or Minnesota, but it would be vis-a-vis Penn State. So, like, Nebraska needs to be in a place, and for what it's worth, I totally agree with you about Rhule's sentiment of desiring, because he's talked about this, not because, like,
are you saying it matters so he can better position Nebraska in the future? Sure. If you're telling me it matters that Penn State wants him because he's going to be swayed, it does. There's nothing Pat Kraft could tell him about Penn State or pick up the phone and say to him that he doesn't already know.
Correct. That's right. That's absolutely right. I think that's correct. I think that as it relates to what Rhule desires, and he's talked about this, and I also believe this to be true, is that Nebraska needs to be as positioned as well as possible to compete, not with Minnesota or Iowa. Not he's got to beat those teams, but from a resources standpoint, to compete with Ohio State and Oregon. Now, I'm not saying that he's like, we need to have the exact same dollar figure as Ohio State and Oregon, because I don't think you need the exact same dollar figure.
I just don't think he wants to be at the mercy of those schools. I agree there. Like, I don't know if he's like, hey, man, we need $35 million in the kitty. Right. I just think he's so competitive. He doesn't want to be at the mercy of Oregon or somebody else because they're not able. But but he's
all that's true.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you'd be hard pressed to convince him that Nebraska isn't better positioned than Penn State, regardless of alma mater or not. He's too smart. He knows what it's like going home as an alum. He knows better than anyone. Like,
yes. Well, he obviously he followed a person who did that at Nebraska. So like he
has a family. Do you know how much time they have to invest in this deal?
A lot.
Yeah.
So like I would say that from my perspective, I do think Penn State is logically interested. They should be.
Sure.
He would be a good coach there. And he would probably be, although James Franklin did a fine job, there'd probably be some ways in which he would be better than Franklin in certain areas. Like he would probably do a better job in just certain areas. Now, all that said, one thing I appreciate about Rhule is he could, and this is, I think, a difference between he and Franklin, just a little, is that Rhule's real explicit about expectations. And so I don't think there would be any sort of woundedness on the back end that something didn't get done. And I think sometimes Franklin could seem like he was, we didn't get that done. And I just think Rhule would be more explicit.
Dude, Sam, Penn State's a hard job. It's a hard job.
It is a hard job. It is a hard job. I agree. I agree with that. I just think that, Franklin did well there. I think Nebraska's, if you were going to have me pick between the two as to who's better going forward, I would pick Nebraska. Some of that is, though, because of what Rhule has done to build up the infrastructure and the support structure around it. I would not have said,
go get Gruden, go get Urban Meyer, go get Fran Brown, go get any of those guys.
Jimbo.
Yeah, Gruden. Yeah, that'd be great. So my point being that
chuckle, laugh.
That's fine.
I don't pull stuff out of my ass.
I agree that Rhule's desire is to see Nebraska compete for players at the highest level. And if Penn State's interest in him, which is logical, has an effect on that, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. And I think that I don't know that, I think what we may hear today is love it here and we need to continue to grow and build. I don't know for sure what we'll hear.
He's not gonna do that to the players where he becomes a distraction.
No, I don't think so.
He's just not. They're on a short week against Minnesota. They're in a good spot. You've heard him long enough. You'll know where he is. You'll know where he is.
Yes, I agree. I think that it's important that Nebraska continue to compete, though. It isn't just he likes it here and he's not going there, so we don't have to do anything that. That would not be the approach. Last week I wrote in my mailbag, I did not think they'd lose to Northwestern. I did think they'd lose to Iowa, and I was like, you know what, if you got an opportunity to announce something or reinvest either an extension or additional funds or whatever, October 21st would be a good time to do that. And I still think that's kind of true. Nebraska has an opportunity here to continue to promote and invest in its program. And it is only natural that
Sam, with
Penn State's job being open helps it.
Yeah, listen, with another $20 million and NIL in the NIL kitty, you officially make him Dr. Frankenstein. He'll build anything in this lab you want him to. That's what I think we need to be focused on.
I think that's right. You can be focused on that, whether Penn State's interested in him or not. But
if I were Rhule, here's what I would go. I'd go to him and be like, hey, Penn State's interested because I'm great at this. And he wouldn't say that, but I would. And you go, listen, there's not much that I can buy in Lincoln, Nebraska for $15 million that I can't buy for 10. So why don't you put that money into my coffers here? And
I wish they could do that,
because there is a lot of money, or there is a lot of things I can do with a $35 million roster that I can't do with a $25 million roster.
Dude, and his staff is way good.
That's the conversation I would have if I was Matt Rhule. Be like, hey, I'm not going anywhere, but let's spend the money where I need it to be spent.
Do
you think he has to say anything?
I don't know. I'm a little surly when it comes to him, just because I think I understand how he feels. But I want to go back to what you brought up a couple weeks ago. Could you believe somebody thought you were like a propaganda? I'm like, Sam's about as straight propaganda. That's not Sam.
I'm
but
not.
but it's like you got the wrong guy. But how about this though, Sam? I want to go back to something. And it's a hill I'm gonna die on. It just is. When I talk about fiscal savvy, loving his players, loving his state, being a family guy, Nebraska fans, the Board of Regents, this is a guy you want in the position of leadership. It just is. He's exceptionally bright. He understands the landscape of college football. His players love him. I'm just saying, man, like, however he wants to do the set-asides for collectives and money, just let him get to year 4 or 5. See if he can't make this a monster. Like,
well, yeah, I think part of this is that, how do I put this? He kind of owes it to himself to stay here and really see if it can come all the way together under his vision. I'm not saying that anybody at Penn State would be nostalgic for James Franklin, but see, this is how James Franklin's success is going to be used. It's going to be, well, the minimum bar around here is winning 10.
That is that is delusional.
And so your job is really, I mean, your job is to win all the other games, but you should just do that kind of waking up. Your job is to beat Michigan and Ohio State every year and like win the other 10. And yeah, like it's.
Does that sound familiar,
Sam?
Sam, go look at Penn State Winsipedia. I'm just saying, like, it's not what people think. And James Franklin had a lot to do with that.
Well, he had a lot to do with it. I grant you that. I think that. Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is this season fell apart, and obviously the players knew it. And losing to UCLA and Northwestern is really not acceptable given the amount of money and the amount of time and the amount of investment they put into it.
Understood.
So like I'm not saying that it was. I think it was probably time for Franklin to leave. If they want to fire him, it's their business how they pay for it.
He might have fired himself. Give me my buyout.
Yeah, he might have. And so at the end of the day, but that's how it's going to be used. Like the bar is going to be, well, James Franklin, we got rid of him and he won 10. So I think Nebraska in so many ways is a better athletic department, a better town. I know State College a little bit. Nebraska's a better town. It's a better place to raise kids. I'm not trying to be rude about State College, but it's a better place.
Can I just tell you something? From 2000 to 2011, these are real numbers. From 2000 to 2011, that's Joe Paterno, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all Joe Paterno, yeah.
Yeah. You know how many 10-win seasons they had? 10 or more?
3.
From 2016 to 2023 or 2024 under James Franklin. Okay? Fewer years. How
6.
many? Okay, like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about?
I'm not gonna. It is actually an interesting conversation. I don't want.
I'm not saying he does. I'm not saying he doesn't have warts. What I'm saying is
he's a good coach. He beat Iowa and Maryland.
What I'm saying is our ability to be appreciative in the moment is unbelievable. I'm not saying he doesn't have warts. Believe me, I spent a fair share of time dissecting James Franklin's coaching process in game. I understand it. What I'm saying is be careful if you're Penn State.
Oh, yeah. No question. What they want is they want Curt Cignetti, I'm sure. If I was
Why would Cignetti leave? Why would he leave Bloomington for the Valley?
Can I say?
And he won't. And he would be an odd fit there. Obviously, Cignetti's kind of a different guy. And it has kept him, obviously, from jobs because he is a very, very good coach. And the on-field stuff is legit and real. I don't think anybody took him seriously until they beat Oregon on Saturday. And I'm just saying this, that, like, that guy is a very good coach. He has also benefited from the fact that I think players play the brand and not the team. And now that Indiana's beaten Oregon, I think the effort that Indiana is going to get from opponents will be equal to the effort that Iowa, who has really good coaches, gave Indiana 3 weeks ago. Because Iowa played them hard. And, like, that wasn't Indiana didn't go up and down the field because Iowa's Iowa. And Iowa's never going to give a crap effort. They're just not. I think, watching the game again, I think Oregon was surprised by Indiana being good. And now Cignetti's, they're going to have to deal with teams taking them completely seriously. and they're gonna be in for some battles down the stretch.
Nobody wants to say this out loud. Maybe Dan Lanning and his staff just aren't as good in game.
They're not.
So maybe
you know,
that's
like
the thing.
his players weren't dialed in. I mean, well, yeah, they're not as good. You know, again, I don't. Everybody
But
loves Dan Lanning.
no, he wins a lot of games too. But so does Franklin. Like, we can't get inside the numbers there either. They're always favored. Like,
yes. So but Saban's comments about Cignetti and Lanning was like, Saban's comments were like, well, you know, Dan Lanning's got a lot of energy, and he's like, you know, Kurt is very serious, and he's done a good, like, almost like patronizing him for being a good coach. And I'm like, what did Saban think of this guy when he was at Alabama to talk about him the way that he does, vis-a-vis Lanning, who, you know, is a lot of energy and a lot of mojo, and took a head coaching job on third base, which he did. And Kurt Cignetti took a job on, well, I don't know, somewhere between home and first base, and already is at third base.
Between home and first base.
You know, like, it's interesting to me what people view as, like,
it's not very
coaching.
far down the old baseline.
Like, you know, Lanning taking off his shirt on game day with McAfee. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, come on. Like, you know, you're playing a really good team.
Yeah.
Like, get off the set. And anyway, I'm not trying to be hard on him. Maybe that's me being an old fuddy-duddy, you know, against a guy like Lanning who's like 39 and is having fun. But, you know, if it's me, I'm not. That seems ridiculous to me that you're partying it. I wouldn't even be anywhere near the set. But, you know, that's the way that Oregon rolls.
We can't even have podcasts
today,
here.
Right?
I mean, shoot.
It's going to be interesting in Nebraska today. Obviously, Rhule, I'm sure, you know, he's very good with the media. We'll ask, and he'll have some thoughts. But your comment is well taken about the investment in the program and the players, right? That's very well taken. And I think
that's what it is.
Yeah, but Penn State being interested probably only helps that process. That's my point. Is that, like, it matters?
Then just say leverage, right? Like, because that's all he would do. He doesn't want the job. He wants what's best for his players.
You know, I can't.
It's my opinion.
It's about coming back home.
It's my opinion. And I'm on record. It is my opinion. I'm not speaking for Coach Rhule. I'm not speaking for anybody. I'm just saying, like,
I also think sometimes when we use the word leverage, sometimes it gets a negative connotation.
It's not negative, man.
Right. I agree, but I think sometimes when people hear it, they think
you're
negative.
not. Listen, I'm going to land the plane here. You're not doing what you did against Michigan down 2 scores. You're not doing what you did against Michigan State. You're not doing what you did on the road against Maryland. If there isn't a unique player-coach relationship and
you're right,
happening in Lincoln. Mm-hmm. If you heard nothing else I said, listen to that right there. You can't tell me that something isn't brewing with his impact on young people if you watch the last 3 weeks. And that's just minimizing it. I'm not going to get into how he fertilized the grass 2 years ago when we were eye rolling because we were still losing to Maryland, right? Like, I'm not talking about that. That's important.
No, I agree.
But that's not what I'm hanging my hat on. I'm telling you, you don't say, hey, go back out there and celebrate with your fans. You don't get on IG, getting on the plane, and not have your players be like, that's my coach versus my players eye rolling. He's not doing anything on social media that his guys aren't riding with or believe in, because you can fool everybody but those guys you spend 18 hours a day with. They know he's true. I'm just telling you, man.
Like, no, I agree with all of that. I do. And on top of it, they started running the darn ball on Saturday. And, like, they've got to keep doing that. Because that you saw it, like, Dylan got, you know, he got banged up and he wasn't even sacked on a play. Like, you got to keep him healthy, and you've got to take some pressure off him so that late in the game when he has to go make a play, that defensive line has been slowed down by getting pummeled for 3 quarters with the run. And I thought Nebraska's plan was excellent on offense. They did a really good job and kudos to you for saying they were going to break a kickoff. Yeah, there's a lot of good things happening down there. Obviously, the Penn State thing is a distraction, but it can be
only
used
if we
Nebraska.
let it be. Only if we let it be, Sam.
It's not up to me. All right.
All right, buddy.
You guys have a good one.
Hey, by the way, Sam, did you like the hodgepodge meal? Like, what did you make of the meal?
The steaks were pretty big.
Was that as eclectic? Like, why didn't they cut those things?
I don't know. But for people listening, they were very big. They're like the size of a plate.
It was like skirt or flank or something with fajitas and
then the
chicken.
plastic utensils were not going to get it
I was
done.
just going to ask, did they leave you with the plastic utensils?
Oh my gosh. You had to tear the steak in your hand.
Gosh.
Oh, shoot. All right, buddy.
Have a good one, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
That's Sam McKEWON from the Omaha World Herald. You know, go ahead.
Do you think I get fired up?
Well, sometimes.
We're missing the point. That's what we're missing the point. You know, because you think Coach Rhule doesn't know, like, you guys said I couldn't win a big game. I haven't done anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've only won double-digit games X amount of times in college football. You just fired a guy for that.
Yeah.
Do you think you think I'm good enough, or I'm just the flavor of the day? He's pretty self-aware.
Yeah. They fired a guy who
has a better track record than Coach Rhule. So you think he wants to take a job just because he's an alum?
More 10-win seasons in the last 3 years as many as Rhule has his entire coaching career.
Don't do him any favors because he's an alum. He doesn't want that.
Yeah.
Like we're selling him short.
You know, I thought Kurt Signetti and Indiana might be frauds. I was wrong on that one. If you think there might be some fraud going on in your life, though, phone calls, emails, texts, Centris can help you out by helping you decipher what is and isn't an attempt to try and get your information and access to your accounts. Go to centrisfcu.org to learn more about their Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which is going on right now. And be sure to check out Centris's Member Protection Center, where they post information about the latest frauds and scams. It's centrisfcu.org, federally insured by NCUA. We'll be back from Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I was make a play. I mean, our defense played their tails off and bailed us out. And, you know, the one that Luke was just, you know, just had to make a play, so people in the face. And then the one that Zay, he ran a great route. I actually signaled him a double move, and he went and killed the guy. And, you know, he made it pay. So if I didn't get that ball out, I probably would have got hit. Just with the blitz they brought, they blitzed our running back. And so, yeah, it was unreal. No, yeah, I tripped. I was drifting away from the pressure, and I tripped. So I don't know, I'm just glad I got the ball out to him.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, I'm like, get in the locker room, yes, sir, say that, you know, whatever. I went and got him and said, go back out. Like, you know, I mean, that was palpable, the way it felt. I mean, you could feel it. And, you know, you get in those moments where it's like, oh, no, you were down 7, you know, in terms of, like, you can sometimes feel it. And I thought our crowd just became electric. And, you know, even like, you know, the run by Emmett, just like the feeling down there just almost felt inevitable that we were going to score because of, you know, everything that was happening, and especially, you know, from the crowd. So I have to give a ton of credit to the fans and the crowd that was here.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Central Federal Credit Union. That's DBM, Ravi, Lulla, reminding you can make a big impact without a huge time commitment. Just 4 hours a month to make a big difference in a young person's life, whether it's shooting hoops, grabbing something to eat, or just hanging out. Little moments can make the biggest difference. Make sure you go sign up, bbbsmidlands.org, to learn more about big brothers and big sisters of the Midlands and to start making an impact in young people's lives. DB.
Am I making too much sense?
No, how you feeling?
Listen, I want people to hear my heart. This isn't about, I'm only telling you, if I say it's an opinion, it's an opinion. If I'm pawning it off as fact, it's a fact. What I get passionate about isn't because I want Coach Rhule to stay. I'm going to cheer for him regardless of what he's doing. So that's not it. That's not an issue. Now, I do think we have. This is an opinion. I do think we have overblown the relationship between he and Kraft.
Interesting.
I do.
I think we've overblown the alumni thing quite a bit.
Oh, it's actually it's not a bonus.
No, it's probably a detriment, if anything.
No, 100%.
Because I think they're like.
Listen to me. 100%.
If you are as, I think, savvy as Coach Rhule is, you have seen situations where it's like, hey, if you go to a place and don't succeed, and obviously the level of success that is required at Penn State to be considered successful is very, very, some would say unrealistically high, and I am some. And you go and you're like, okay, so unless I do that, unless I go do a thing at Penn State that hasn't been done in, let me check the math here, 40 years? Is that the last time they won a national title, 40 years ago? Yeah. Really 30 years since they were even in conversation for it. Unless I go do something that hasn't been done since I was in elementary school, if I'm Coach Rhule, then I have to basically be okay with never returning to my alma mater.
Yeah. I don't know. I just, it's something one of the reasons I'm as passionate about it as I am is because I've spent the last 2.5 years trying to explain to people why I think this is different. All right, I talked about, I'm going to chill because I'm not always going to be right.
Okay.
So I need to understand that. But I have spent an inordinate amount of time on the connection between he and I because of what I gravitate towards.
Sure.
Right? His investing in the university, how important the actual players are to him, his recruiting philosophy, how the standard is the standard, how he believes this place could be great before it was great, how he's willing to take some of the shots that come with the criticisms of being unconventional, being at the Waste Management Open or going on shows or being on podcasts or having to listen to people just pluck stats that they pull off of Google AI about performances against top 10 coaches or, spending time sitting down, watching games on when you use timeouts and when you didn't use timeouts and how you get better in game and positioning yourself fiscally as an athletic department and staying ahead of the revenue game and why you understand what your athletic director told you about stadium expansion when you couldn't care less only because it was important to you to know what some of those other funds could be used for in the meantime. Just all the things, your wife establishing a business here, you taking an inordinate amount of time to find schools for your daughters to incorporate their learning styles and what best fits them, moving your parents right down the street from us. Like, it's frustrating that because we think a certain way, we think everybody else should think that way. So what I try to do is give you multiple clues, not 1, not 10, not 15. There's 30 reasons minimum on why I think he likes it here. And just because we can't understand what it would be like to be courted by an alum or have a former boss want to hire me or whatever. We do all this speculating when the facts are right there in front of our face. That's what drives me crazy. Because at the end of the day, you know what? We just want to think what we want to think. Damn be the facts. I get so sick of that with people. I see it in conflict resolution all the time. Because I feel a certain way, I don't care what you told me. Prove it differently. No, you know what? You have the opportunity to think differently too. And if you don't want to, cool. See you on the other side. Right? Like, life's already hard enough than to jump through all your hoops. You keep your hoops. You can hula hoop your ass off somewhere over there and play your own little mental hurdle Jedi mind trick games. Over here, we're just going to try to get better at what we do. Right? Same thing as I tell you. Listen, I just want to get better. Right? If I was bad with that thing, I want to be better here. I want to be better tomorrow than I was today. I can't go back and get that. Right? It's the same thing that he tells you every week. Can't go back and get Cincinnati. Can't go back and get last year's Iowa game. You can't go back and get any of that. But what you can do is get better today. And every time he says, hey, you know what? Like, I'm worried about Maryland. Or a question is, hey, how quick are you to get something on tape? Listen, I'm not apologizing for losing to Michigan. See, those little things let you know his personality. He's not saying that because he needs to reassure himself. He's telling you that you've misdiagnosed who he is and what this program's about. You just are. Right? Ja'Cory Barney could drive an AMG if he wanted to. You think somebody's not going to come knocking on his door? Sure, they are. Latif, whomever. We've worked ourselves up into all these frenzies. But do you know who it's hard to leave?
Oh.
It's hard to leave family. So I'm going to do everything that I can in my power until I have revenues to at least be competitive, if that's going to be the end game deal, where you don't want to leave home. From meals to chefs to recovery to preparation to who our guest speakers are to how I can ask you about how your girlfriend's doing. Hey, how's your mom doing? Hey, has dad come back home yet? I don't want to stereotype dudes. Sometimes it's moms that are deadbeats too. Lord knows that's the truth. Like, he's doing all those things. You know how hard it was for him to hire a defensive coordinator. You're privy to some of those conversations. Why was it important? We know that, right? Didn't want to hire Eckler, right? Didn't want to keep Raiola. All these things show me is whether he's going to, at the end of the day, come up smelling like roses and baby's breath actually stinks. If he's going to come up smelling, it does. Over like 3 days, baby breath is not good.
Smells rotten.
Overrated. If he's going to come up smelling like roses, I don't know. But the conviction and the resolve he showed you from the minute he's been here. He just has. Why is the player's needs so important to him? I don't want you to leave me. I told you, day one.
I don't want you to feel like you have to leave.
Day one, I said, my only pause is he so traumatized at what happened in Charlotte that what?
That he is a little paranoid.
Would overcompensate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you know what he's shown me?
It's not.
He's actually learned.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's better.
He knows where he doesn't want to be again. So he's very cognizant.
I think he's better than he was before Carolina.
You don't like.
I just do.
I don't know. So I get it. It bothers me that we think he's that shallow. We think because it makes sense, it makes sense. But that's only our prism.
And I don't even think it makes sense.
It makes none.
If I'm being like even, I don't even think it makes sense.
It makes no sense.
That's where I tweeted out yesterday. I go, I'll be honest. I would be shocked if he left because I don't think it makes sense for either side.
I get
it
why
sense.
it's a conversation, so I don't want to be dismissive.
Yeah.
But it's only going to drag out as long as we want it to.
Yeah. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Jason Cole coming up next. Talk a little NFL here on Hurrdat Sports Live.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, so we came out of last game, and we looked at the numbers, and we were like, 5.5, 6 yards a carry. We had a bunch of good runs. So we just said, hey, and we knew that they have these freshman edge rushers that are really, really dynamic in 29 and 9. So we were just like, hey, we're going to run the football, especially early. And, that first drive, we was clear, I think of our first 11 runs, I think 6 or 7 of them were 6+ yard runs. So we were feeling really good. But Emmett was on fire. And, I think 2 plays that really stand out to me are the play where Dylan was getting hit in the backfield, spun out and hit Luke, and then Luke went down the sideline, and then obviously Emmett's long run. I mean, I was screaming at the officials, and then he kept still running because I didn't know, we're not screaming, but just screaming to run, and I didn't realize he was even still running at some point. It was just such a great run. So I just think Emmett's the ultimate competitor, but you look at him, like I said, he's third in Big Ten in rushing, so Dana wanted to get him some more attempts, and they did a good job of controlling the clock for a team that's not really a running offense, a passing offense. They did have the ball quite a bit, and then our turnovers in the first half hurt us, so we didn't get a ton of rhythm. But we knew eventually we would break through.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Tua on third down. Plenty of time. Tua wide open end zone. Touchdown. It's Lulla. Ward stays on his feet. Hit as he throws. And it is picked off. Devin White. What a first half for White. Rogers pump. Rogers throw. Separation. End zone. Touchdown. He put it in the bucket. Fitzgerald for the win. It is good. The Panthers upset the Cowboys.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by Jason Cole. He's a columnist for the 33rd Team and a Pro Football Hall of Fame selector. Jason, how are we doing this morning?
Life is beautiful, man. What's going on?
We're just trying to make it, man. Navigating this quarterback-driven league known as the NFL. Let me ask you. I'm totally taking advantage of your range here because I get it. Dak was playing at a super high level, and we know about their defensive issues. But how do you feel so far about Bryce and kind of the ups and then the self-regulating and then a few downs? And then what do you think we know about the quarterback play in Carolina?
Ooh.
He's interesting, isn't he?
He's interesting. I generally don't trust it. That's my intuition. I hope that he ends up being great. I mean, he has a lot of physical ability. But there's being small and there's playing small. And I remember watching Heath Schuler, what was it? Almost 30 years ago now.
Yeah.
When he came into the NFL with Washington. And he was a pretty big dude, 6'2", 6'3", maybe even 6'4". And I remember him playing small and looking like in the pocket he was 5'10" or 5'11",
because he would hunch over, and he was almost sort of scared to get hit. Bryce Young is already, 5'10", 5'11".
Look, he's actually listed at 5'10", which is incredible because they always cheat. They always cheat the height. Yeah.
Right. Which tells you he's really 5'8" or 5'9". So, but he even looks smaller than that sometimes, because I think, look, we all know from when you're an athlete and you get that chance to play with the big boys, sometimes it's scary. And sometimes you hunch your shoulders and you're waiting for the hit, and you're like, am I in over my head? And sometimes I get that feeling. Now, he's overcome that at times, but I don't know that he's overcome it permanently. And I think it's from just not having a lot of confidence in what's going on around you, if that makes sense. And this is a really complicated way of answering. I see a pathway to greatness for Bryce Young. I just don't see it on a very consistent basis. And so I don't know that it's going to actually happen. Like Brock Purdy's not a very tall guy. I mean, I'm eye to eye with him, and I'm 5'11", right? But he plays bigger than that, and he's a little thicker bodied guy, sort of like Drew Brees, a little bit bigger. But even he doesn't physically handle the punishment, which is why he's on the sideline a fair amount. So, like, even in a Brock Purdy's case, and I don't think he's a great quarterback, I think he's a good one to a very good one. I got questions still.
So let me ask you about another quarterback that isn't that big, but plays big. Maybe he's very good, but possibly could be great. What do I do with Baker Mayfield? Because he looks a hell of a lot like the best quarterback, or at least the most valuable quarterback in the league right now.
He's not the best quarterback in the league. Let's not go too far.
Is there anybody playing better than him currently? That would be my like not overall career resume, whatever, but like just in this moment.
Josh Allen's playing great. He's playing great. Again, I love the Baker hype. I love the fact that he's taken this pathway that wasn't easy. He had to get knocked down off a pedestal for a while after being a number one pick, and had to go back and learn his craft and come back and be himself. And it's fun to watch. It's it's the kind of thing that you want to see, right? Because he's successful. But he's not gifted like Josh Allen or like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he makes things happen, and he's had some exciting games here at the beginning of the season. I don't think you can live this way every single week. And if you're saying every single week he's going to break 4 tackles or escape from 4 defenders the way he did on that 20-yard run in the second half against the 49ers, I would sit here and say, yeah, I wouldn't be making that bet. I wouldn't be believing in that on a week in and week out basis, and I wouldn't believe in it that it's going to last going forward for the rest of his career as he slows down, right? So all that is to say, he's playing great. He's got them on a path that they're a Super Bowl contender, maybe a championship contender. It's a fabulous story. He's got a lot of ability. It is proof of the things. I used to talk to Scott McKEWON a lot. So I still do. But I talked to Scott McKEWON, and he was really high on Baker Mayfield when Cleveland took him. He advised, advised John Dorsey to take the guy. He had a great write-up on him. And he said, even when things were bad and going bad in Cleveland and going bad in Carolina, everything was going the wrong direction. He said, look, I believe that there's a quarterback in there who will show up at some point in time. It's just going to take time. And it's proof of that. It's also proof that, we don't always see guys as finished products in their first 2 or 3 years.
Let me ask you something, Jason, as you're kind of looking at, because my Super Bowl prediction was Baltimore and Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay isn't even healthy, and they're doing what they're doing. What is it just too much to overcome in Baltimore? Because I get it. Everybody's hurt for them, including now Lamar Jackson, but just too much for even Harbaugh to overcome?
Yeah, this is a reset year where you.
Wow, that's
I mean,
crazy.
There's your defense is playing so bad, and I know that people would say, oh, they only allowed 17 points yesterday. They only allowed 17 points because the Rams knew they didn't really have to try after getting 17.
Yeah, and they blew 2-4, inside the 10, they ain't getting points.
Right. So that game could have been a lot worse. When a team the opponent is going to struggle to score, you're not going to gamble to score. You're just not going to try that hard. We're at 17-3. They're going to struggle to score. It's going to be bad. We don't need to take a lot of risks here. And so we're just going to manage the game and get out of here with a victory. And, that used to happen to the Raiders back in the early 2000s when everybody's talking about, oh, their defense is so awesome and this and that. It's no, their defense is really not that good. It's just the other teams know they don't have to score because the Raiders' offense was so bad. But to bring this back to Baltimore, their defense is incredibly flawed, and it's flawed from an effort standpoint. I don't understand what they're, in the first 3 weeks of the season when they were relatively healthy. I don't understand what they were doing. There was no imagination. There was no effort. I just look at this and go, how does Zach Orr not have pressure on him to try and figure out what this problem is?
And then he gets the vote of confidence last week from Harbaugh.
Yeah, what the heck is that? Harbaugh's the guy who fired Cam Cameron with 3 or 4 weeks left in the season, and they won a Super Bowl. He doesn't see that there's a problem. There's an essential problem with your defense. So all that is to say, I think that Baltimore has to take a step back and go, some of our stuff kind of stinks. And this is not working, and we need to figure it out. And I think that can include firing Zach or going to Zach and going, why are we playing at such a slow and ponderous speed on defense when we have this kind of talent? Because that's my question. Now, the injuries are the injuries. The fact that they can't score right now because they don't have Lamar Jackson, that's just the way it is. You have a superstar quarterback who everything turns on him, including how Derrick Henry runs the ball because they got to account for Lamar as a runner.
When they give it to him,
he helps out there. Yeah, right. But you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In a larger sense. That's a whole different offense when Lamar is out there. I understand why it went south yesterday. Playing against a pretty good Rams team, especially a Rams team that had 10 days to prepare and was coming off a really bad loss. So I just think Baltimore's a mess this year, and I don't think it's fixable.
It's week 6. There's no undefeated teams. Surprised or no?
No, not really surprised. I don't think there's a single coach in the league who cares about being undefeated. I think most coaches, and I've made this point before, I don't have a way to sort of prove the point. There's no information other than to say, I think that the increase from 16 to 17 games has made coaches really believe that the season is so long now. And it only increased by 1 game.
Like you're just trying to get by.
Yeah, okay, let's we're going to treat September as preseason almost. And we're going to learn to hit in season, not in camp, and we'll get the game speed in the first 2 or 3 weeks, so we're not really too worried about it, and we'll round into shape in October, and then as long as we're sitting somewhere 500 or better, you're 4-3 or 5-2, as we get to the middle of the season, okay, we're fine. And if you're 5-4 after 9 games, and I think let me backtrack a little bit. I don't think it's just the 17th game, but I think it's the additional playoff spot, because this happens in baseball a lot. What you've seen is in baseball, the number of teams that win, there were 0 teams that won 100 games this year, right? And usually there's one or two that win 100 games, or they're 99 or something like that. You know, the highest this year in baseball was 97. I think that that's sort of tracking in football, which is, like, as long as we're 10-7, 11-6, we're going to be in the playoffs, and we just need to get into the playoffs. And we need to get into the playoffs healthy and playing well. So everybody's kind of treating the first quarter or first half of the season as round yourself into shape. And now people would say, well, that tells me that Baltimore still has a chance. And it's like, no, there are some teams that don't have a chance because they're just too much of a wreck. Right. And I don't mean that dismissively. Just there's a quality of football that's going on there that's not good enough. Right.
Yeah.
And so, and watch them prove me wrong, of course. But I just think that when you get to the point of why is nobody undefeated, I don't think it matters.
It's awful. It's awful early, though.
I know it is awful early, but like, look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia proved themselves, you know, like in the first 4 weeks. They beat all these big teams in Tampa, Kansas City. You know, like they went in and they slayed a bunch of dragons in the first 4 weeks, and they're like, okay, we know we're good. And so the last 2 weeks they haven't been very sharp, and we're hearing all sorts of little problems. And you know, and part of that is Jalen Carter is not a guy who plays with a high level of intensity if he's not pushed, and he's not pushed right now.
And remember when reading books on the sidelines was cool? Oh, that's right, they were winning.
Yeah, they were winning. I mean, it's like all these things weigh into. I think that clever coaches, head coaches, have to manage seasons in a very different way, and there wasn't as much urgency. That feel of like every week is life and death. I think now the viewpoint is just survive to get to here, because if you just survive and you're okay, then you get a shot at the playoffs. And, you know, hope your guys don't get hurt. Like, hope you're not San Francisco, where you lose 2 of your best defensive players in the first, 7 games of the season, and your season is pretty much shot now. And so, even though you have a winning record, and you have some pretty nice wins along the way, and you survive with Mac Jones, it's going to be hard to survive long term losing Warner and Bosa for the rest of the season. So I just think that there's a very different mentality from the old days when every single game was treated like you were being shot out of a cannon, and you had to do everything that you possibly could to win that game.
Jason, as a 49ers fan, I really do appreciate that. At least they have a lot of returning defensive starters from last year. Oh, wait, they just had 3, and 2 of them aren't going to be safe from again. So that's great. Let's move on. So speaking of the NFC, 2 teams that we mentioned a little bit, the Eagles and the Lions, both 4-2 after this week, both took losses to teams I think that most people would have thought they were better than prior to this week, although Kansas City is tough to know what to do with. Who do you think that's more indicative of who they are right now? The Eagles and them kind of feeling their way through the season, or the Lions kind of letting it get away from them against the Chiefs yesterday?
Well, the Lions still have some weird fatal flaw, which is why they haven't won a Super Bowl, despite all their incredible talent. And they have the Dan Campbell sort of, tough guy mentality. But at the end of the day, like, the quarterback's not really a tough guy. I mean, he can pretend to be a tough guy, but he's
interesting.
All right, he can give you that gritty little look, and that he has that smirk on his face, like it's I'm there, I've got it all together, and it's like no, you're a skinny little dude who doesn't like getting hit. Okay, and you are what you are, man. Okay, but you can still win games with Jared Goff, and I'm not trying to, but he's just not that guy who you look and you say he's got it all together every single moment. He's not a tough guy like Jalen Hurts who's going to put himself in battle. He's not Josh Allen like that. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Patrick Mahomes who can make any throw at any time. Like there was a play a couple of weeks ago, and I can't remember who it was against, but Jared Goff was, flushed out of the pocket, going to his left, and you could tell like he really wanted no part of it as the body started to get closer, and he just flung it out of bounds. Well, it was the same kind of position in the field and same play as when Justin Herbert threw that touchdown pass earlier this season to Keenan Allen, where he twisted his body and rifled the throw.
Yeah.
Because Justin Herbert is a dude. Okay, Justin Herbert is a full-on man. Okay, who can do some things with his arm and his body that other guys can't do. Jared Goff is sort of like that. He's a super accurate, super quick with the ball, great play action guy. But he's not physically imposing, and he's not going to do physically imposing things against you. So you don't fear him the same way that you fear some of the other guys. And I congratulate him for getting this far. I think they can win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. The Rams almost won a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. But if you talk about what is the one kind of missing ingredient from them, is the quarterback is not a perfect reflection of what the rest of the team is trying to be and what the coach wants the team to be. And you can't really fix it. You have to live with it. And you have to make the best of it. And they can. Again, they can win a championship with Jared Goff. But he ain't that guy. Okay? Then when you talk about quarterbacks who are, like when you say once more into the breach and you're going to like throw yourself into the fire, Jared Goff's like, where's the fire hose? Like, like that's kind of thing. That kind of thing.
JC, let me ask you something, and I get it. But to my point, it's because of one of the guys had a particular quarterback. Which head coach is most like their current record? Zach Taylor or Brian Daboll?
Tough question.
I love the pause. You get it.
Yeah. It's Brian Daboll because Daboll's given more freedom by management to run the team the way he wants to.
Interesting.
Zach Taylor is a prisoner of Mike Brown and Mike Brown's mentality and how he runs the team, if that makes sense. Like there's only so much that Zach Taylor can do. Brian Daboll, when John Mara and the Tisch family weigh in and hire a coach, they say, you run the football operations. You make those decisions. We'll get out of the way. We're not going to control you. And with Zach Taylor, that's not necessarily true. So the team is a reflection of Brian Daboll with the Giants. And, he's obviously not handling the pressure. That blow up with the medical staff was unprofessional in a lot of ways. And the kind of thing that players notice, like players lose faith in you in a hurry when you don't take their health into account, especially in this day and age. Like you're doing what? You're yelling at the doctors about our guy's health. Like that was a really bad look that I think that Daboll doesn't understand. Like it doesn't matter to the public that he did that because the public doesn't care, but it does matter to the players.
Did the Cardinals show you anything about how they believe in Gannon with how they played yesterday?
A little bit, but I thought they were.
I was actually happy because I was in Gannon's corner a little bit. I was glad they responded with like half a roster. It'd have been easy to lay down, right?
Yeah, it would have been easy. I was in Gannon's corner. It's like, why don't you get to be mad when a guy does something stupid?
Exactly.
Right? Especially now. The fact that he's doing something stupid, you run the team. So, like,
There is that.
Yeah, like
oh, those
there
darn
is
details.
Details. Let's not bicker and argue over who killed who. Let's go. Sorry, a little Monty Python reference for the morning.
Holy Grail.
But yeah, it's the greatest movie of all time. Even better than Casablanca. My wife is looking at me right now.
Like, oh my gosh.
You strike me more as a Citizen Kane
like,
guy, Jason.
You are so, yeah. She's looking at me and she's like, "You're such an idiot. I can't believe I married you."
Join the crowd.
What'd you say, honey? Today? It's our anniversary, by the way, just so you know. Guys.
Happy anniversary,
anyway.
Jason.
Happy anniversary. That's what the guys say. Thanks, guys. That's what she says. All right. Anyways, getting back to this. Hey, look, I had no problem with Gannon being angry at DeMercado. I did have a problem with him touching him.
Yeah.
You know, like there's, you know, like you got to have a certain amount of respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we're not here for the Frank Kush days, right? Like that doesn't fly for anybody who understands what the reference that I made to Frank Kush. There you go. You can explain it to people when they call in. So. Anyways, you know, you just there's a certain distance you can go and chew a guy out, and I have no problem with that, and I have no problem with him being angry. You know, touching him, no, like that's not okay. And so, you know, like I was okay with a certain amount of what Gannon did, and also like, yeah, that's not great. But I think that they respond because here's the other thing. I think they're good.
Yeah.
Like I really do. I think that they have.
I ask you about Kyler Murray all the time. He's just hard for me to get my mind. I want to say he's good, and then something happens. They're an interesting team.
Yeah, they're a really interesting team, and Kyler's an interesting quarterback. They're along the lines of Bryce Young. I think that like Kyler, you know, Kyler gives off a vibe of a guy, and it's been written about. So I'm not saying anything. Who doesn't take every detail as importantly as he should, and that's sad because you know when you're that size, you have to, you know, you have to go above and beyond. But he is such a superior athlete that he oftentimes has not had to do that, right? Like I mean, we're talking about it, you know, really grade 1 world class athlete to be able to be drafted in 2 sports like that, and all the things that he has done, especially at his size. But I think there's some maturing that still has to happen with Kyler, but the talent is off the charts. We know that.
Let me get you out of here on this, JC. I appreciate the 25 minutes. Right now, who's the best team in the AFC and NFC?
Best team in the AFC? Well, NFC, I'll just say it's Philadelphia. Now they could let that slip away pretty easily. You know, the way they have the last couple of weeks, but they're the best team.
What about a healthy Tampa?
They lost to Philly, so I mean they weren't perfectly healthy, but yeah, they lost and they got smoked at home in a situation where they should have been in much more control. And that was a 95-degree day in South Florida, and they put up no fight early in that game. Now they came back in the second half, which I think is more a reflection of how the Eagles kind of let things slip away. But I think the Eagles, when they're on their game, they're the best. And, you know, when they eliminate all their distractions. And I think that they'll get there in the second half of the season. Even though their offensive line is pretty banged up and they've got some issues on defense. Okay, all of that said. Fully over that. So I think.
Darn those details again.
Yeah, darn the details. Well, football changes fast. In the AFC side, it's Buffalo. Pretty clearly to me right now. Again, despite a loss, because again, despite they're not always just, you know, teams are not continually sharp, and there are some fatal flaws when it comes to Buffalo, and there are some other contenders in there that are interesting. You know, the Chargers are really interesting. I always want to say San Diego. I still haven't solved that. But anyways, the Chargers are there. Kansas City's going to get there. Like, you can just see it, right? Like, now that the receivers are starting to get healthy, you can see that there's an offense there to be had. It's not it's not the same crap we watched out of them last year. So there are some second-level contenders that I think are better than on the NFC side. But Detroit and Tampa on the NFC side, pretty good contenders. I'll give you that. So look, it's still really interesting. There's no, to speak to one of your points from earlier, there's no team that's run away and hiding right now. Like, there's no undefeated team that you just sit there and go, oh my God, look at them.
You just don't think all of a sudden the Chiefs are going to get it, do you? Even with Rice coming back?
No, when did Rashee Rice become a superstar?
I know. So bless your heart.
Can I just say something? He's a good player.
I want to say that, but everybody, gosh, that's a great rhetorical.
Right. Like, I hear Rashee Rice. Like, he's a great third down receiver. Like, he's really good. I like him. He does a lot of things. He's in the right place a lot of times. But he ain't Randy Moss. Like, what are we doing here? He's Rashee Rice. He ain't Jerry Rice. What are we talking about, man? I mean, he's a good player. But Worthy's more important.
Yeah.
Hollywood Brown is more important. Kelsey's more important. Those are the dudes who have to go off for them to be a serious contender. And that's because that's what they didn't have last year. And they didn't even have Rashee last year to cover up what they didn't have with those other guys, right? As Worthy is trying to learn how to play and Kelsey's trying to get himself in shape after doing the world tour with the future wife, right? Like, the whole thing was, the whole thing was a little discombobulated after they were coming off the back-to-back titles last year. They were feeling themselves a little too much last year. And that's why, as close as they got, they weren't really that close when you got into the Super Bowl, right? Like, they got overmatched. And the offensive line was a problem. I grant all that stuff. But Rashee Rice, everybody goes, oh, wait till he gets back. Like, he's a number 2 or number 3 receiver. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't understand what people see in him that makes them think that, like, he's a season-changing player. He's a good player.
That's Jason Cole. Great stuff from Jason. As always, we appreciate your time. You can check out his work at the 33rd Team. Jason, we appreciate it.
Anytime, guys. Be good.
Thanks Jason.
That is the one and only.
I think he actually likes us.
Jason Cole.
It took, 11, 12 years, Shane?
The Rashee Rice ride
it's
was
been
funny.
a minute.
I want to ask that, but I get it. Like, I don't knock the hustle of Chiefs fans. Like, they want another weapon, so I'm not going to.
I kind of take it to more about being like just giving Mahomes functional bodies.
Although there were times where he was maneuvering in the pocket yesterday, and I was like, uh-oh, look out. He looks pretty good.
He does look pretty. Hey, it's like we forgot the Patrick Mahomes guy's pretty good.
And that was a great point on Jared as a Lions fan. I mean, I noticed it last night when he got hit.
Yeah,
he did not like getting touched.
So I'm big into that. Like, I'm like I said it with Childs. Like, I always watch how your quarterback handles himself when it's uncomfortable. And
he was uncomfortable in moments last night.
My man was getting his grimace game right. He's like, ooh. I was like, you all right?
More grimace, not much of a hamburglar.
Hamburglar. You didn't used to watch Def Comedy Jam, did you?
No.
That was my show.
No, I did watch those McDonald's commercials, though.
Hamburglar. That was the first guy they got rid of. Is it because he looked like a criminal?
The Hamburglar?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was a criminal. He was stealing hamburgers all the time. That's why it was called the Hamburglar.
I just want to know, like, why'd Grimace have longevity? That guy sucks.
You out on Grimace?
Yes. Yes, I am. I'm out on all purple dinosaurs.
DB not here for Grimace.
Out on Grimace.
So you don't know the wildest thing about the random. So I went down like a rabbit hole of Frank Kush there for a second. The wildest thing. So this guy gets fired from Arizona State for punching a punter in the face.
Yeah.
And then interfering with the investigation into punching a punter in the face. And then gets an NFL head coaching job.
I was going to say, that's not the worst thing he did.
And then comes back, and they name him assistant athletic director and name the field after him. Arizona State, what the hell are you doing? What's the worst thing he did?
He's notorious. I mean, he makes your boy from Ohio State look like a gem. He snatched a couple of dudes.
Oof. Don't love that.
No.
That's DB.
But he meant well.
I'm sure. Yeah, everybody does, right? That's what they
well.
say. Oh, no, he's a good guy at heart when he stops punching people in the face.
Sometimes you just need to get punched in the face.
That's DB.
What do you normally say? Get punched in the soup coolers?
Yeah, right. Right in the old soup coolers. I'm not opposed. Like, I don't mean to diminish getting punched in the face. I'm just saying sometimes people have earned the right to get punched in the face.
Yeah, does that mean you could name the field after him after that, though? Because that seems aggressive.
Depends on what the punter did.
Well,
I'm just playing.
We'll be back. Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I was make a play. I mean, our defense played their tails off and bailed us out. And, you know, the one that Luke was just, you know, just had to make a play, people in the face. And then the one that Zay, he ran a great route. I actually signaled him a double move, and he went and killed the guy. And, you know, he made it pay. So if I didn't get that ball out, I probably would have got hit. Just with the blitz they brought, they blitzed our running back. And so, yeah, it was unreal. No, yeah, I tripped. I was drifting away from the pressure, and I tripped. So I don't know, I'm just glad I got the ball out to him.
Can you explain just what that last drive was like as you guys drove down the field to get that score when you really needed it?
Man, that last drive was really exciting. This is a relentless team, and I knew that last drive everybody had the confidence that we're going to go down there and score. And so I'm just really proud of this team, proud of how we battled. And, you know, finishing games is something that's been, you know, big in this program in the past, so that's what we did tonight.
176 yards for you today. At moments when your team needed a spark, you were that guy. What was your mentality when your team needed you most?
Yeah, man, just trusting in the Lord, trusting in God, and just honoring Him through my game of playing football, and just believing in myself and keeping that confidence. I knew that over the time they're going to get tired, and so just trusting those guys up front and just making the reason, doing what God put me on this earth to do. So I was really proud that I can be that spark for the team today.
Yeah. Maryland had another opportunity, but your guys' defense came up big on the field. You guys were on the bench having a good time. What was it like playing in front of this crowd all the way here in Maryland?
It was amazing. Like I said, we got the best fans in college football. They travel to every game. That last drive kind of felt like Memorial Stadium, I'm not going to lie.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Out of the gun, 2nd and goal from the 7. Ball inside the left hash, 2 receivers wide side right, Key in the slot, Hunter wide right, 2 tight ends left. Viola takes a snap, looks left, surveys. Crumbling pocket, spins out to his right. Viola looking to the end zone, still rolls to the numbers at the 10, slings one back right corner. Was it caught? It's Lindenmeyer. He makes the catch in the back right corner of the end zone. Oh, that was brilliant. DR with a BB, and Luke, he made the catch up against the boundary. 16-14 Huskers.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you, even though like sometimes the show can be a little bit of a car crash, you don't want your actual car to get in a crash. If it does, though, Dingman's has you covered with their auto body repair. Dingman's Collision Center is the best in the business here in Omaha, local, family-owned and operated, and they invest in cutting-edge technology and ongoing training so their team can make sure every repair is done safely and to the highest standard. That's why they've been voted first place best of Omaha for 20 straight years for auto body repair. Go to dingmans.com to learn more and to make an appointment. DB?
Yes, sir.
Let's get a quick update here. Rico, if you've got this for me, bud.
No, Rico doesn't. Rico's not doing it right.
Oh, he's doing it right because I'm up. So that's got to be right. Oh, you're closing.
I am.
You're closing time.
Closing time.
Our guy Timmy V had a tough week.
Yeah.
TV had a tough week. I believe he had negative points this week overall. I think Rico said he had -1, which is hard to do.
That's tough. I just don't know why he keeps fudging the numbers for Team Roston.
I don't think he's fudging the numbers. I think they're,
all TDs, 1 point.
Dante.
Interceptions and any fumble, -1 point. Yep. Every 200 yards passing, 1 point. Every 50 yards rushing, 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
Wins equals 2 points.
Yep.
Austin Simmons delivering for our man Kyle.
So I'm actually in a lot of trouble here because Drew Aller's out for the season.
Yeah.
So I'm in trouble.
I wouldn't call it trouble.
I mean, I'm going to get caught. I'm playing with one guy down every week.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing that
it's like
KB had
it's like
Simmons.
everything else I do. I'm just going to stay the course.
That's fine. I don't know, man. I think if without Aller getting hurt, I was feeling pretty good. I don't feel good anymore.
So I'm out of the basement.
Yeah, you were out of the basement last week, and you're closing on KB.
Yeah, I know. I need to catch Team Roston.
Everybody needs to catch Team Roston. They can't win this thing.
There's no way. We laughed at all their picks.
Well, they were pretty dumb.
We laughed, though.
No, Dante Moore was a good pick.
It would be embarrassing.
Dante Moore is a good pick.
Like we
Pavia was a good pick.
We could have been. Well, we knew Pavia was a good pick.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they'd win.
I mean,
enough.
how are they getting 23 points from Starch Manning?
Well, they've won a lot. Well, I guess they haven't won that much.
Yeah.
But.
So the only one of the big time things that I was wrong about, was Michigan.
Oh yeah, this week.
Yeah, your boy is trending in the right direction.
Yeah, I missed bad on Michigan.
Me too.
I thought that was going to play out exactly how Illinois did, and USC was like, "Oh no, we figured it out." They were pretty good. USC was pretty good.
Fully prepared to have been disappointed on Indiana, Oregon, but I told you what was going to happen.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's fine. Can I say something about Cignetti though?
What about him?
Would you buy it if I said he doesn't end up at Penn State, but he's not in Indiana next year?
Yes.
Okay, because that's what I think is going to happen.
Win with class. Sing that song.
I don't think he is I don't think he's an Indiana lifer. Even
do you think coaches don't know that James Franklin got ran out of there?
Oh no, they do. That's
winning
the first,
34 games and
that's the first thing I thought of. That's why I looked up that stat. Because
there's only they're marketing to a handful of coaches.
Yeah, and they're going to have to pay a premium for what they did to Franklin.
Oh yeah.
Like they're going to have to pay more than the market value
100%
to get a guy that they like. And I don't think it's going to be Cignetti. although I think he's probably their first call. I think Cignetti ends up in the SEC. Like, I don't think it's going to happen anymore because DeBoer seems like he's figured it out. But like if that thing fell off the rails after Florida State, Alabama makes a lot of sense for Cignetti. I weirdly sort of think it might be LSU.
Yeah, that would be interesting. They look like poo-poo against South Carolina, but of course Sellers couldn't get me any points.
Yeah, I don't know if Brian.
We watched that game on the plane. We lost our.
How many screens did you have on the plane?
Oh,
you kept showing me pictures. I was like, how is this happening?
So, and it's dark too.
Yeah.
Because, can I just tell you, on our plane, you cannot be the guy with the window up.
Everybody's down?
There's so many unspoken rules.
Yeah.
And I'm literally in the minority, so I just try to do what everybody else does. And Jess was like 2 seats behind me, so I couldn't mess with her. Ben was in front of Jess, and he had his buds in. So it was me and KC.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, he had one. Is this a clue? He put the AirPod in his left ear.
Was that the ear closest to you?
Me. So I was just praying that he had the other one in too.
It wasn't just like, please don't speak to me.
No, man. Dude saves my bacon, though. He got me hooked up.
Yeah, you guys had the nice setup.
He did look at me like a dummy, though.
For which part?
I was in the middle of Department Q.
Oh, yeah.
This was Thursday night. And I'm like, man, I said, my hotspot isn't working. And he goes, well, we're too high up. I go, no, we're not. That's what a hotspot's for. And he goes, this is how he said it. Still has to, there's this whole satellite thing. I was like, really? And he put his AirPod back in. Like, this dude's a dummy. But then he came back and got it. He goes, see, mine isn't working too.
I don't think that's coming back to get it. I think that's doubling down.
No, he was like, I think he felt bad that I was dumb.
No, I think he was doubling down. We're like, see, mine also isn't working because we're too high up.
That's my dude. He literally asked me if I think he caught me side-eyeing his food.
Mm-hmm.
And
was this at the restaurant?
Yeah.
Because I was looking up their menu.
Yeah. So, and I declined, right? I was like, no, it's okay. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked over like 5 minutes later and his plate was perfectly clean. And I was like, aw, you were going to offer me some food that you actually thought was good.
That he was actually going to eat. Yeah.
I mean, it
nice
was
of him.
He cleaned it. He got the stuffed salmon.
So I would have, you know me, because you asked me if I would have gotten the pizza, and I 100% would not have.
So she decided last minute. Last millisecond.
So that's a panic decision.
She went through, we looked at that menu 35 minutes, even though we looked at it all day.
Yeah, that's a panic decision.
And she's like, I think I'm going to go with the crab pizza.
No, that's terrible.
It was fire, though. I ate off the corner.
Was it good?
She left 4 full pieces.
Whoa.
Well, nobody wanted to take seafood back to their room.
Yeah, but you should have been like, listen, I'm going to leave this out. I'm not going to microwave it anyway, so it won't make anything stink.
Listen, I would have tried to take it back to – I should have tried to take it back to –
You should take it on the plane and see if that breaks any of the rules.
Oh, boy, they'd have kicked me off. It was amazing, though.
So here's would have been my order here. So
it was in a retirement community,
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what to make.
And you said crab pizza?
That's what Jess got.
And you liked it?
Yeah.
That surprises me because you don't like pizza.
It was white sauce.
Oh, it had the white sauce?
I've had shrimp pizza before and really liked it. So
I made shrimp pizza.
I'm open to the idea, but looking at the menu, that would not have been on my here's my pecking order for I'd have gone scallops, you know that.
That's what Ben got.
I'll be honest, the Maine lobster pasta is kind of speaking to me a little bit. There's a high chance I would have gone crab cake because of location. Just to get kind of my hey, I'm in Maryland, let's get a good old crab cake. And then if I'm feeling, I'll be honest, if I was feeling kind of depends on what the per diem was, I might have just went ahead and got the lobster.
Yeah. You get, I think it's 50 some for dinner.
Oh yeah, I'll take a nice chunk out of the market price. We'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have done that. Some combination of that, Or honestly, for $50, I could have gone crab cake. Oh, you can add a crab cake to any entree. I could have gone my scallops and crab cakes and been at 54.
Yeah.
been good to go.
Kyle got the best meal.
Oh, yeah, with the scallops?
No, stuffed salmon.
Oh, stuffed
With shrimp
salmon. That's
and
right. You said.
I think Ben's was. I don't know. I didn't ask Cass about her lobster mac.
I'll be honest. Lobster mac sounds pretty good. I like lobster mac.
Just liked her pizza though. Would you have taken pizza back to the hotel?
Yeah, absolutely. It's your room, right? Like, it's not gonna smell anybody else's stuff up.
That's true.
Like, if I wouldn't have taken it on the plane, but I'd have taken it back to the room.
And it would have been the next night, too.
Yeah. Although I would
have tried it.
I put things in the refrigerator, so I'd have been fine with it.
Shut up.
But no, I would have. I'd have taken the pizza back.
I wish
for sure.
you could have watched us study that menu.
Oh,
but you look at it. It's
no, it's extensive. There's a lot on there. But I see you stare at menus all the time.
I do.
You're like on your phone. You're on the apps. You're like building meals and things that you'd never order.
I like food.
I do too.
And did not eat well there.
Do we want to get to a couple calls here?
Yeah, let's get to them.
I'm a little concerned about where Lance is going, but that's fine. Let's get to our guy Lance here on the Hurrdat hotline, 888-638-4876. It's a phone number that I almost always forget to give out. Lance, what's going on?
Hey guys, how you doing?
Oh, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man?
Trying to
Enjoying
make
the
it.
holiday.
Trying to make it. Wait, it's a holiday?
Yeah, man, it's a holiday.
What is it?
It's Indigenous People / Columbus Day, so enjoy.
Oh, that's right. And you have a new job too. You get those days off.
Yes, sir. Hey, guys, one of the things that
I didn't either.
Yeah. So one of the things, I think, Damon, you hit the nail on the head earlier about something that I've been thinking on a macro level we're going to start seeing is I don't think we're going to see these escalating coach salaries as we move fully into rev share.
Yeah.
I think you'll see it kind of be like the NFL where salaries maybe even will come down a little to a reasonable level because nowadays it's going to be really about who has the money to get the players on campus. And so maybe you're starting to see percentages of buyouts as opposed to full buyouts and mitigation clauses being reduced. But, one of the questions that I have going into, this Penn State search, and I mean, there's a ton of jobs open right now, and there's probably
going to be a couple
more.
Well, then
Yeah,
you got the
there's
dominoes. There's going to be a
lot of-
bunch open.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. Like, if I'm Wisconsin, I don't know if I'm moving, even though Fickle hasn't done well.
Did
I mean,
you
just the
watch
sheer
that?
volume of
We
jobs.
watched. One of the guys had that on TV on the plane. Did you
Horrifying.
watch that? That was not
It was
good.
bad. But where would they? I mean, just thinking, where would they be in the pecking line? To me, is like, hey, why throw the baby out with the bathwater this year? But what I will find interesting in the coming years is how important a sitting head coach is compared to a guy like Gruden or Urban, because with the way people move around nowadays. I mean, look, when Cignetti got Indiana, didn't he bring a ton of players with him over from his old school?
Yeah.
So if you go and hire a guy that's not coaching or not coaching in college,
would he be able to do that? Yeah.
I think it depends on who it is.
Well,
Lance.
we saw it catch up with Belichick.
We saw it catch up with Coach Rhule early.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like Rhule had that problem
Yeah,
early. He
I
had
mean-
nobody to bring with him.
Yep. So I just wonder, when I look at these openings, I put less and less weight on guys that aren't sitting head coaches. And then I look at Vanderbilt, that guy might be a great coach, but Pavia is not
Pavia?
is not going to be is not going to have any eligibility left. So I just wonder, as an AD.
Wait a minute. Didn't he file an injunction on this latest hearing for another year?
Trying to get one more, man.
I don't know, man. But
Hey,
I just wonder.
do you
how-
like
how
Fran
much
Brown?
roster watching. I love Fran Brown. So I think Fran Brown.
Rhule loves
if
Fran Brown.
If there was a list of guys that I hope Rhule doesn't leave, and I don't know. I think there's a lot to like about Lincoln and Nebraska that he has ties to here now. But in the event that he does go, I think there are a number of guys out there now. I mean, I even I don't know how much you know of Dillingham, but I've watched him from a distance. And I just messaged you. I think a guy like PJ Fleck right now, if I could go
Wait, you
somewhere
just send
that had
that?
a lot of resources.
What about
Yeah, I
what
did.
about
I like-
what about Fish?
Fish is. I mean, that makes sense with Dannon.
You know,
I'm not talking about for
man.
Nebraska. I'm just talking about moving out of Washington.
Oh,
Nebraska's job is not open.
Oh, that's what I thought.
no,
That's what Lance was
Washington-
talking about, though.
Yeah, I think he's a good coach. I think he's a West Coast guy. I think, I don't know why people can't stay at Washington right now. Like, to me, that's a kind of a red flag of like, hey, what's going on out there? But, we're so far away from there, even though they're in the Big Ten. It just seems like guys go there just to leave, and it used to be a really good school.
Lance, appreciate the call, bud.
You like Fran Brown?
I do, yeah.
I like Fran
was, before he got the Syracuse job, I was kind of hoping he'd be Nebraska's defensive coordinator when Rhule got here.
Yeah, that's how you got it. That was the Georgia connection, too.
Yeah.
Getting some of those guys.
Let's get to Jay here. He wants to talk about Nebraska's defense. Jay, what's going on?
How you doing, fellas?
Oh, there he is. What's up, buddy?
Chilling, man. I've been listening this morning, man. I will say this, too.
Oh, boy.
Shout out to the graphics people. You guys have greatly improved the YouTube experience. That work is not unseen.
Well, thank
you.
you.
It is appreciated by the consumer. Right?
All right.
Secondly,
hey, did you hear my meltdown earlier? Was that bad?
It wasn't a meltdown, bro. Don't say that. Don't say that. All you do is strengthen stereotypes. Don't say no.
I'm not angry.
Right?
I thought it was well constructed.
But the perception that when you speak in an articulate manner, right, and say words rapidly, some people take that from certain people as hostility. All right, so let's just say that I would say that what you said about the subject in respect to our coach leaving needed to be said because it's going to get out of hand. You know that. So at least there needs to be some semblance of reality here in Nebraska. The rest of the world can speculate all they want. You feel me?
Yeah.
The national people do not need help speculating about our coach leaving. But what we do need is for it to be some semblance of reality here in Nebraska. So to hear the other side of the coin presented in such a way was definitely needed for Husker Nation. Man, we're cooking right now. Can we get on the real subject?
The football
we're
team?
5-1.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're cooking. And if you've been paying attention, bro, we are growing. You feel me? And that should be scary to everyone. You feel me?
Yeah.
The world should be, let me rephrase that. The college football nation should be afraid when Nebraska realizes what they are. And what it seems to me is that they are realizing it game after game. And shout out to Coach Rhule and the staff for that, bro. I mean, for our quarterback to come out and throw 3 picks, 2 of them were atrocious, right? For him to stumble over, right? So I don't know how long the pass was, but it was a beauty.
Atrocious.
It was a beauty that he dropped the dime to Big 13, who was coming on as a baller. You know? And I'm seeing this. Dylan is starting to ball. When you see him stumble and throw that pass, that's a baller move. That means I'm trying to make a play. When you see him make improvements in the pocket, trying to make a play, I love it, bro. We grown. Defensive line, now what they have to say. Big Nueri is balling, right? They doing what they doing. They're growing. They're seeing the mistakes that they've made on film, and because they're being coached properly, the guys are growing. And in a minute, you're not going to be able to convince them they're going to lose.
Yeah.
And once they're convinced they're going to win every single time they step on the field, then all of that work they put in for the last couple of years, all of that work they put in this summer is going to come to fruition. And we have to, as a fan base, just keep cheering. You know what I'm saying? Don't pay attention to the distraction. Coach ain't leaving, right? And let's just keep kicking butt, bro. I'm excited, and more excited than I've been in a long time. And it's not even fandom. This is reality. We saw it in years past. If we come out in the third quarter, bro, right, and they score 14 on us, right, and then they go up, our heads are hung. But I didn't see any of that. The body language looked good. The highlights looked good. We look like a real. All right, I'm done. But thank you, gentlemen, for letting me rant. You feel me?
All right.
Thank you for allowing me to express myself. And man, go Big Red. I said that with a real frown on my face too. I hope you can hear it.
All right, Jay.
Go Big Red. Appreciate you, Jay.
The body language was good.
It was. I mean, listen, it's hard to look at that and go, okay, Our quarterback's just throwing. Why do I keep telling you I like Carson Beck?
Yeah, I know. His ability to overcome.
Over and over and over. Do you like the fact that he threw the 3 interceptions? Absolutely not. Do I like what it looks like when he's been through some of it? Yeah, I do. And we saw that from Dylan. Like, I don't know how many times I can keep saying, hey, there's no other team in the last 10 years that would have won this game.
We got to get to the rest of college football this past weekend.
Yeah, we will. It was fun. It was. If I had given you, what would the odds had to have had? How good would the odds had to have been for you to place a bet on James Franklin not having a job on October 13th, but Luke Fickell does?
Oh, that's a good point. That's incredible.
Like, those odds would have had to have been astronomical.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I would have lost so much money.
Yeah, I don't think Fickell can go anywhere until the end of the season.
Yeah, well, you might be right, but my goodness, I did not have this on the bingo card.
How about that offense?
What offense?
Now everybody's scared of Iowa again, too. See how easy that is?
Listen, Iowa hit the over all by themselves.
Yeah.
Depends where you got it at. I saw it at 36.5.
Goodness.
That last touchdown, that's a bad beat. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. We're here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. Make sure you get out here and enjoy the fall specials. We will be back tomorrow on Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.